I quit my software job in 2013, maybe.
He killed it, by the way, selling software. This man's a
really?
born salesman.
I hated it. I didn't like it. Being a salesman sucks.
But you did cars, dogs.
Dogs, used dogs.
Did you say used dogs?
Used dogs.
Yeah, not new ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Fasten those seatbelts and strap in. We'll get you to those margaritas ASAP.
Hola, bonjour. Ciao bella madame et monsieur. Salam and salam.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Before we get into our Austin, Texas episode with PFT and The Beave, let's do a little pre-boarding. Remember to subscribe to our new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We got some solid episodes coming up.
I think it's probably our best stretch so far.
Yeah, so...
I mean, if we talk about like a 6-run stretch, we did Ken Burns, PFT, we got a Shanghai episode, our first one that's coming down the pipe for your first Chinese episode.
Guangzhou, actually.
Guangzhou, excuse me.
Because that's where I spent my first year in China. So we're going to talk Donnie Does origins.
A great high school that we cover the Aztecs, and we have several more that are down the pipe. So I think we have like 6 or 7 bangers in a row.
Japan as well.
Japan, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's with a super... I think that interview, I mean, nothing will compare to Ken Burns. I was fascinated by sumo culture.
Yes. So in that episode, we're going to talk about like some of our personal experiences in Japan. And then we have on like one of the most famous foreign-born sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, the first champion foreign-born sumo wrestler ever.
Yeah. That was... I got his name wrong in the interview, I think. I don't want to do it again. It's...
We're not going to try it.
Okay, we're not going to try it because I would butcher it once again. But be on the lookout for that. I saw some complaints about our last high school episode, mainly the audio version. People were like, there's like too many people talking. It's hard to follow. Get back to the travel stuff. I even saw one comment who was like, you know what? I think they're just doing these high school episodes because they ran out of places they've traveled to. Which is far, far from the case.
Yeah.
Like, we have not done an Okinawa episode where Chaps lived for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
We're going to do...
This is our first Chinese episode, China episode.
Yeah, we got a China episode coming up, and we're going to do like 5 China episodes. We haven't done a Venice episode, a Sicily episode, a Malta episode. We got a lot in the bank, and also we've only scratched the surface in terms of guests that we can have on.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes this year. But today's episode is great with PFT and The Beave. We'll get there in just a second. I went last week to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
Oh, yeah. Still never been.
It is, you got to go.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I did it with a group of guys. There's probably, well, I know exactly. There's 8 of us that went down. We rented a Sprinter van, kind of like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we rolled out. It was like a Mercedes, super nice seats. It had a big TV, so on Saturdays in between the different distilleries, I could use my phone as a hotspot. We were watching college football rolling around. On the trip back on Sunday, we watched the Jags game coming in. It was awesome.
This might be a dumb question, but why do they call it the Bourbon Trail? Is there a physical trail, or it's just kind of like a route where you can hit all of the big bourbon distilleries?
Yeah,
down there?
It's not like a trail. It's just there's like in Bardstown and Lexington, and there's a bunch of bars in Louisville, I guess, that are kind of a part of it too. But you could just kind of drop a pin in Lexington or Bardstown, and there's going to be 10 distilleries within 5 or 6 miles of you, no matter where you're at in that area. So you can go and just pick a great spot. I went on like Airbnb or VRBO and picked a awesome, like the place I stayed was on 15 acres on farmland. You could see the rick houses where they store all the bourbon barrels for years. There was one that I went to. We have a video coming out that's called Whiskey Thief. Easily one of the cooler alcohol establishments that I've ever been to. Because usually if you go to these places, like I've been to a bunch of the distilleries now, like if you go to the places, you do a tour, they teach you what like the mash is, they teach you like how they make the process. Well, this one called Whiskey Thief, the guy goes up for the tour and he's like, who's been to a tour? And everybody raised their hand. Like everybody in the group had already been to one. And he was like, fuck it, let's go drink then. So like they go and they have these 10 barrels that are there. And you have this long, it almost looks like a brass pencil that has a top on it that acts like a syringe essentially, and you stick that in there into the barrel, and it's barrel proof. So it's like a lot of them are 120, 130 proof, and they give you the little glasses for whiskey. Fill it up, and you get to try all of them as much as you want. Like, there is no limit. You pay the $35, you could do it, and then you could buy a bottle. They have different live bands and everything. You gotta go to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. I think you would love it.
I've never even been to the state of Kentucky. I've driven through, I guess, but we should drop a pin there because I would like to get down to the origins about how Kentucky became like the bourbon and horse capital of America.
Yeah. I mean, if you're listening and you have anybody that you would recommend being on the show, shoot us a DM or something like that, because I'd like to have I could probably get the dude from Whiskey Thief actually on, which would be fucking awesome.
If you're a state historian and you want to come on, let us know. If you're a travel YouTuber and you want to come on, let us know, because we've only had one travel YouTuber on, and that was Small Brained American.
Yeah.
So we've only hit the tip of that iceberg. But today we got PFT and The Beave. You'll be learning a lot about PFT's content creation origins in Austin, Texas, and in his hometown in the DMV. And then afterwards, PFT tells us a bit about meth use in World War II.
Yeah, so we have a high school with the Beave and PFT, full episode with them, top to bottom, getting cultured and everything. So I'm pumped about that. I'm pumped for you guys to hear it.
Let's get into it. Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Today we have on two childhood best friends, PFT Commenter and The Beave.
Adult best friends, too.
That's right. We're adults too now.
Let's go.
But yeah.
Living in the
Now
same
we're
city.
grown-ups. I can hang out at Pat's house on a school night.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Sleepovers still happen?
Don't have to ask permission. I just go.
Sleepovers don't happen.
You did kind of sleep over like 6 months ago. Remember we fell asleep in my basement? We were watching Con Air.
Yeah, it's true.
And I woke up in the morning and it was like 7 a.m. Pat was gone.
I took your shoes off.
Yeah, Pat took my shoes off
That's
for me.
nice.
Yeah.
What a
passed
friend.
out down there.
Textbook sleepover.
You got to do that.
Also, that's a great movie for just guys hanging out. Con
It
Air.
is. It is.
When he just blows his hair back in the wind.
Yeah. I think that was after AC/DC, right?
Yeah, after AC, Cameron Poe was a true American.
Yeah.
A true. Did you watch Con Air post being in the service?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you should. I want your thoughts.
I bet I'd weep.
Is it true that if you break up a bar fight and you kill the guy, or like let's say somebody's talking to your lady,
Yeah.
and you're like, she's taken, that's my wife,
Yeah.
and the guy gets real aggressive and handsy, you fight the guy
Yeah.
in mutual combat and you kill him, do you get worse prison time because of your military background?
No, it depends on if you're still part of the Pony Express or not.
Okay.
I feel like,
Keep in
but
mind-
yes, like I would think you get less prison time. Well, for like my case, for sure. Like they look at kind of what you have accomplished, like it's mitigating factors.
But your hands are lethal weapons, like Cameron Poe's. That's what I'm saying.
That's not a thing.
Well, I mean, maybe
In
maybe
Con Air
not.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cameron
Con
Poe's
Air,
her hands.
Very
sure.
much a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
But
of the whole thing
like in
about the
real
movie.
life, people are like, oh, you got a black belt in karate, you got to register your hands. No, you don't.
Well, there was that Marine who choked out a homeless guy on the subway because
Yeah.
he was like bothering everybody, accidentally killed him. Is that dude in jail for a long
No,
time?
he was acquitted.
He got off.
acquitted. Chaps, we would turn you into a right-wing figurehead if you got arrested for something like that. We'd be like, former military member, Purple Heart recipient, American, Chaps. The corrupt judicial system of Chicago got him. Let's get him
He's
out.
being persecuted right now.
Yeah.
I've always said that if this whole thing falls apart and I can't do like podcasting anymore, my very next move is going to be to get saved again and go be a traveling evangelist.
Oh, I like that.
Like with the amount of microphone experience I had, I could go out there and just rip the most Jesus facts you've ever heard.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so rich.
I know. I'd be the new Benny Hinn.
Yeah, if you can start a mega church, that's the fastest way to becoming a multimillionaire, I think.
Yeah. I used to
in the
work at
United
one
States.
too. I was the associate youth pastor at a mega church before I joined the Marines.
Prosperity gospel.
No, it wasn't prosperity gospel, but there's like 8,000 to 10,000 members, and there was at least 6,000 every Sunday.
Those guys are the best. The prosperity guys.
God
Oh,
wants
yeah.
you to win, dude.
God wants me to be rich.
God wants it for me.
Yeah.
Shout out my friend and longtime stoolie Joel Olstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Big,
Joel's a
big
good
listener.
guy.
You remember the guy that used to it was on like public access TV, where he would look and be like, and God wants you to send $25 right now to ensure that you get those blessings.
Yeah.
There's like one video where he's doing that. You know how he'd always close his eyes and like lean in real close, and he's just like, I feel the spirit. Somebody went through and did like a huge compilation of those, and while he closes his eye, they do like a fart noise. So it just looks like he farts over and over and over again.
Might have been Pat
He'll fart and
Robertson.
be like, oh, ain't that just like the Lord?
It's just like the Lord.
Those guys are the best, man. They've got it all figured out. Do you think they're the same when the cameras turn off? Or like the cameras turn off, they're like, all right, that'll fucking get some money in here.
I think it's so much like Righteous Gemstones in real life.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah.
My thing is like, do you stumble into that to be a prosperity gospel guy who's worth $100 million as a man of God, or do you plan on getting there, right? Because there's two ways there, and the ones that plan on getting there, if that's a guy, that freaks me out, man.
It probably starts with good intentions, kind of like when you go to law school and then you're the Texas Hammer.
That's right. You know the Texas Hammer? That guy spends dough on ads.
Yeah.
Now, you two are both from the DMV,
That's right.
but at some point in your lives, you both ended up living in Austin, Texas.
Migrated there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you both move at the same time, or did one of you move and convince the other guy?
We moved in 2000, at the end of 2008, I think.
Right. I remember because Kid Cudi had that song out where he was like, fuck 08, we're talking about 09. That's why I remember we moved there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
is-
used to say that all the time.
I was saying that as I was driving down. I was like, fuck 08. It's 09 is the year.
Shit.
The official slogan of Austin is like, keep Austin weird, or something like
Yeah.
that. And so you guys probably moved there when it was still weird?
Well, they kind of hated the newbies when we moved there. So Austin has been, in my understanding at least, it's been in like a constant state of change for like the last 30 years. And so when we moved in 2008, there were the longtime Austinites that were like, this town's not the same. It's
Right.
changed too much. So as we were going there, it was already starting to get to the point where it was no longer as weird as it was at one time. But now we can look at it and be like, Austin's not the same. But we were
Right.
those guys that moved there in 2008
Yeah.
that made everybody that was there be like, well, nice little town we once had.
I think that's a perpetual thing.
Yeah.
Like just like the basketball is not the same. Dude, most players from the 70s couldn't suit up now. Babe Ruth isn't hitting skeins.
I think
Yeah.
Babe Ruth could hit skeins, but basketball, I back you. I back you on that.
I don't know.
think he could.
Babe
Yeah.
Ruth was fat.
Yeah, he's
But
fat.
So many homers.
So was CeCe.
COVID, though, did kind of fast track, I think, a lot of the changes going on in Austin, though, because there was so many people from California moved there.
Pre-COVID, so Austin has this perfect storm, right? A little thing called South by Southwest, the South by Southwest Music Festival, which I think started in like 87, 88, by the guy that ran the Austin Chronicle, Lewis Black, and a couple other folks. And it grew into this massive, massive festival where everyone from music, tech, film, fashion, any cool industry would descend upon Austin, Texas for what was 1 week, then ended up being 3 weeks every year. And they would all come in and be like, damn, this real estate's cheap. And there's no income tax. I'm moving here. So like most Californians would come in and then on their trip, they'd buy a house and then they'd fly back home. And then tech moved in and that's when it really screwed things up.
You think the University of Texas plays a big role in that as far as like because it's such a good school that people see the business opportunities that are in Austin?
Yeah, I think it helps because you have like a natural influx of talent every year that's graduating.
Right.
That needs, it's really hard to get into Texas.
Yeah.
It's like a very,
hard.
very good school. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that until I started to live in Austin. But yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. I think, like Pat said, the no state income tax has a lot to do with it. I think just culturally, Texas has a lot to do with it. Like the state of Texas, it's different. Austin's different than everywhere else, but you still have a lot of that like mentality. So even like they talk about it being a liberal town, but even a lot of the old school Austinites are like, I would call them more of a mix of hippies, like old school hippie libertarian cowboys. A lot of that. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of libs there, but they all have guns.
That's right.
Yeah, and they
Bunch
all
of Matthew McConaughey's.
yeah, exactly. So
Matthew, I don't know about so much these days, but yeah, he was once that guy.
Yeah.
did
He
you
used to be a lib, but you don't think he is still a lib?
I think I don't want to get controversial, but Matthew's pro the 10 Commandments in schools per his last appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast. I was surprised to hear that from McConaughey.
Is he really?
Yeah, he wants those 10 Commandments in schools.
Does he strikes me as a guy that would want the 10 Commandments, but also like the Rig Vedas, like every religion to be represented.
I think Rogan challenged him on that.
Yeah.
And it was all green lights for him in terms of that idea.
Well, yeah, he's a green light guy.
He's a green light guy.
If you say anything to Matthew McConaughey, he has to say yes to
He's
it.
a green light guy.
Also, like, are the 10 Commandments that controversial? I think we can all agree that they're like pretty good rules to
I got
live
some
by.
Have
hot
no other god
neighbors.
before
Yeah.
me. Like, there's a lot that are very religious in nature.
What are the weird ones, chaps?
I think have no other gods before me. Like,
That's the one.
like honor thy mother and father.
Right.
And
What if you
there's
don't have a mother and father?
There's
right?
elements of that, and like that, not just as a kid, but as like an adult. Yeah. Keep the Sabbath holy. I don't think we want to do that.
That's right. Get the
Take off
Sabbath
every-
holy out of there,
every
bud.
Sunday. I don't think we want to walk less than 500 feet like they used to do in the
Yeah.
Hasidic Jews.
They actually debated that bill on the Texas House floor on the Sabbath, and
Yeah.
it was a pretty crushing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
James
like the
Tellerico.
idea of the Sabbath.
Yeah, Tellerico was like, "What's today?"
I do too. I like the idea of a Sabbath, but
Just like one day a week to completely decompress, be like, I'm putting down the laptop, I'm not doing any work.
Are you guys taking, if you can, and you can, you taking your Sabbath on Saturday like the Jews, or on Sunday like the Christians?
I think I'm going to start doing it on Wednesday.
just middle of the week. Yeah,
That's thinking smart, chaps.
I like that a lot.
Can't
I mean,
fuck with the Sabbath,
Then
man.
you get Monday and Tuesday, you're back off on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're back off again.
I pretty much do take my Sabbath on Sunday. Like I don't do a lot of walking.
But you're
Yeah.
one of the few people at the company, you have to work on Sunday.
We work. The people that, it's crazy because I forget about this because I stay late on Sunday. I record the show, but then I always forget that like Max and Pug and Memes and Jack, they have to stay there till like sometimes 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then they got to be back in on Monday morning. They're the real heroes.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of the Sabbath in Austin, so it's no fun watching football with this guy anymore, obviously. But a long time ago,
I had fun with you at the NFC Championship game.
on non-Sundays, it's great to watch football
With
with you.
Gruden?
But Sunday, since you started part of my take, Sundays with you watching football, like the rare times that I'm with you, maybe we're on a bachelor party, you're locked in.
Yeah, no, football Sundays used to be a lot different. We used to get fucked up. And all.
Right.
There was actually a bar that we would go to, I don't know if it's still there, called The Warehouse.
Yeah, we got to see if this thing is here because it's the saddest place on the planet, and it's no windows on the highway, right next to Palazzo, which
Yep.
was the strip club that was. There it is, dude. Is that it? No, it wasn't the Warehouse.
Yeah, it was Warehouse.
Is that the Warehouse?
Yeah, The Warehouse. No,
That
no
place looks
window.
pretty
Look at the, yeah, dude.
So
Get
you-
get some of those interior pics there.
You lose track of time so hard in there. And the crazy thing about this place was it had all the different TVs set up for all the games, but it was also the home bar destination for like the Vikings, the Saints, the 49ers. There were like 4 or 5 different teams that called this place like the headquarters in Austin for that location.
There's plenty of bars to have a specific.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there's so many bars in Austin.
This was a weird place, dude. And the weirdest part was by the time the night game started, you were like, all right, I'm going to wander out for a cigarette. You're like 14 beers in. And then there's Palazzo. There's the Gentleman's Club right there. And the Palazzo from the outside, man, it is inviting. It's like an oasis.
Is that a well-known spot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was featured on the television series Friday Night Lights, which filmed in Austin, Texas.
You drive.
Okay.
It's in a very visible location, and it's a distinctive building. So you drive by the Palazzo, and you know that that's the strip club right there. But yeah, after Pat's right, after like 14 beers, being at the Warehouse, and you're just staring at Palazzo next door. What else are you gonna do?
How are the tits there? Big heavies?
I mean,
or-
round.
Yeah, big heavies.
It comes in twos.
Okay. Nice.
So there's Palazzo, and then there's I don't know if it's the sister club, but Expose.
Was it Expo? So they changed the name of one of them.
Expose is on South Congress.
Right,
and
right
it's
next
right
to-
by St. Ed's University, St. Edwards.
Did you watch the Cowboys documentary?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had heard this when we moved to Austin. There's 3 universities in Austin, but really 2. There's UT, and then there's the smaller St. Edwards private university. And they are in what is probably worth $1 billion of real estate right now because it's just everything has been built up around them in South Austin. But we'd heard when we moved there that the Dallas Cowboys had training camp there. And I'd kind of forgot it until I watched the Jerry Jones documentary. And oh my God, I realized that literally the strip club touched the field that they were practicing on.
Probably not great for Michael Irvin.
No, so it used to be a hole in the wall. It was a tiny ass strip club, and then the Dallas Cowboys had their training camp there every summer, and they would put so much cash into the strip club that it expanded and it became this massive place that's now like an established Austin strip club, as opposed to like a 15 by 15 room with one dancer and like one person behind the bar.
That
Location,
like
dude.
Yeah.
month of training camp has essentially got to be like bartenders that want to work during the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, like
Dude,
that's
the Cowboys
their
were
holiday
staying
season.
in the dorms. The closest bar was the strip club. They changed the name though. They just changed the name.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
How long did they do that? Because they had it in San Antonio for a while too.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was this dumb place for the Cowboys to have training camp.
Yeah.
was-
Now they go to Oxnard, California. I think.
They go like every other year
Yeah.
out to Oxnard, yeah. But there was, so Expose, Palazzo, Yellow Rose.
Oh, can we talk about the Yellow Rose?
Yeah.
All right. So there's a place in North Austin. I was there this month called the Yellow Rose, and it's a gentleman's club. Okay, it's been around forever. If you're an old Austinite, there you go, the Yellow Rose Cabaret. You refer to it as the flower shop. Okay, it's it's a kitschy joke amongst older men. Sorry, honey, I'm running late. I got to go to the flower shop. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm going to stop by the flower shop
Okay.
after work.
Here's the thing. Kendra Scott, ever heard of her? Mm-hmm. Okay, she makes jewelry. Kendra Scott is one of the business entrepreneurs that call Austin home. That's been the case for a long, long time. Kendra Scott has expanded her empire since we moved there in 2009 by far. And she recently opened, as you'll see on there on the right, a Yellow Rose on South Congress Avenue. That's a Yellow Rose. Now, that is not a titty club.
Yeah.
That's a place where you can go and get Kendra Scott jewelry. And I guarantee you, Austin being like the number 2 bachelor party destination in America behind Nashville, I guarantee you there's been a couple situations where a guy, maybe the best man who's planning the trip, has dialed up the limo driver, said, round the boys up, take us to the Yellow Rose. And then they got out of the limo and they were like, we should at least get something for our wives while we're here.
Get a nice
Well, we're here.
Yeah.
Wrong Yellow Rose.
a little brooch with a rose on it. That'd be nice.
There was another place I never got to go to, Ecstasy. I think it's just the letter X, the letter T, the letter C.
That's a full nude strip club up
That's
north.
the full nude one. I think it's BYOB too.
BYOB, Williamson County. So
FCC.
Austin follows in 2 counties, Travis and Williamson. Williamson is known for the place where you don't want to get pulled over. There's no leniency. Williamson County is Texas. Travis
Yeah.
County is Austin.
They used to throw you in jail if you had weed and you
Right.
got pulled over in Williamson County. It's like you're going straight to jail, buddy.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird because like Joe Rogan, he likes to smoke weed on his podcast a lot, and then he like moved it to Austin. I don't know if he does it in the open as much now.
You can. The old timers, like who've been there since the 70s, I hang with a couple of them, and I remember I went to dinner with one of them, and he lit up a joint outside a restaurant. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "I've been doing this for 50 years, man."
It's also decriminalized in Texas.
It
now.
is right.
Okay.
But
Like, in the
ecstasy,
bigger cities, not the smaller towns, but like San Antonio, it's decriminalized. So in Dallas, Houston, Austin is another one.
oh yeah,
So they just like ticket you and then you're on your way. As long as you don't have over, I think it's like a quarter of an ounce or something like that.
Weren't you saying so they legalized weed in terms of medical purposes, and now they're trying to pass a law to like criminalize weed for?
Yeah. So it was called the compassionate user program, and it was designed for people that had ailments like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, like things like that, where you were allowed to have certain levels of edibles. The biggest edible that they were allowed to give you was 2.5 milligrams.
come on.
Yeah, so that was the biggest one that you could do. It would come in a packet of 10, and they would charge you about $80 to $100 for those.
Wow.
And the reason why that happened, Dan Patrick, who's the lieutenant governor, and if you don't know a lot about like Texas politics, the lieutenant governor in Texas is more powerful than the governor because he's the one that sets the agenda for the Senate. So, and they could kick everything back to the House. So Dan Patrick
Lieutenant Dan.
decides what bills are going to go in front of the governor. This is one of the only times for that compassionate use program that because Dan Patrick used to be a primary investor in one of those like dispensaries, or not dispensaries, like the grow houses, Then when it expanded, he lost a huge amount of his profit margin.
Oh, man.
And then he went and waxed poetic in front of all the cameras saying that people could die from it and shit. And he was very, like, he showed, like, I think it was like one of the cookies that come from a vape shop that have Delta 9. And he was like, or Delta 8, he was like, if you smoke this, you will go insane.
That's why they're trying to do the full hemp ban, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
that's crazy. I
Like
didn't know
the
that.
farm bill that was passed, I think, by the U.S. House, like where you can only use 0.3, I think, % of hemp. Like they outlawed that. And there was veteran communities, like the VFW went to like lobby against that. And so did other very prominent veteran organizations. They wanted to get rid of it. And Greg Abbott saw all that and vetoed the bill. It was one of the only times that he vetoed a bill that Dan Patrick was like super into.
Whoa,
That's
dude.
crazy. Also crazy that Lieutenant Dan is the one that can get around really well on his feet.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of an ironic
Yeah,
twist.
the shoes on the other.
This might be an unpopular take. I kind of miss it when weed was illegal.
When it was illegal?
Yeah, like the rush of calling up a guy, getting introduced to a guy. You have to like.
I don't know. I love,
no, but
I
like,
love going to Michigan,
yeah.
man.
Listen,
Dude, it's
don't
pretty
get me
good.
wrong. I enjoy it.
Okay.
But nothing beats the rush of like trying to scavenge for it. You
No.
find it, you pick it up, you bring it back. It's your little secret that you're doing.
Dude.
You invite your buddy over. Hey, I got some weed.
Okay, I would
You want to
agree.
match?
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, let's match.
Except for the fact that you have to have a
The high was more exhilarating.
phony relationship with the guy who's selling you dope. Like, he'd have to come into my house. I'd have to chat with him for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
Probably
terrible.
Throw on Pink Floyd.
Oh, absolutely. He'd always want to hang out. And then he'd be like, do you want to smoke it now? And I'm like, no, I want to smoke it just me, by myself, privately. Come on, let's smoke it out.
What movie are you watching?
Not a fan.
We're watching Training Day. Oh, cool.
Not a
You
fan.
want to hang out? Nah, I gotta go.
You got to go.
I'm busy.
I got to go.
Smoking this weed I'm about to buy.
So not a drug-related question. What do you think is the most quintessential food category in Austin?
I just know people used to always rave about their food trucks. Like I feel like that's where
Yeah.
food trucks first blew up.
So there was a pipeline for success in Austin, Texas, with the food truck. There was a place called Mighty Cone, right, that blew up in like 2009, and then they launched their brick and mortar Hudson's on the Bend, and then everyone kind of followed that roadmap, including Franklin Barbecue, perhaps the most famous culinary export from Austin as of late. It was a food truck first, so it became a thing. Like you could, because there was a big food truck culture, you could become popular, and at a certain level, bam, flip it to a brick and mortar.
Like Torchy's was a food truck. when we
Exactly.
moved there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
That's
What
a
is
huge-
Torchy's?
Taco place.
Yeah.
So it's a local chain that's expanded. It's all over Texas. It's in Colorado too. I went to one in Boulder when I was out there. But yeah, it's like a big Austin
Creative
chain.
tacos, like white people tacos, but
Yeah,
like
the-
good.
Really
I
good.
think one of them is called the Trailer Taco.
Trailer
Trailer
trash.
park, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
you can
has
get
like
trashy.
fried chicken
Yeah.
in it. It's so good.
It's
I'm
good.
a big fan of white people tacos.
Oh, you'd love Torchy's.
I
bud.
used to work at the cantina. What was it? Kung Fu
I
Cantina.
worked at the Kung Fu Cantina in Clemson, South Carolina.
Hell
That
yeah.
sounds
It's
great.
an Asian taco food.
Yeah. Went out of business.
I would say the two main food groups are obviously barbecue and Tex-Mex down there.
Yeah, or
I can't figure out which one is like top of the food chain.
I would
But-
put a category of taco, breakfast taco at the. I don't think that there's a city in the country that has better breakfast tacos than Austin, Texas.
They're so good. I don't know why they're not in more places.
Because the breakfast taco is severely overrated.
It's a very easy thing to make. It's delicious.
That's
it's not overrated.
preposterous.
It's
Dude, the
preposterous.
breakfast taco is so bad. It's so
What?
it's
I mean,
so
I've
bad.
had bad breakfast tacos,
Right.
But like a good breakfast taco is pretty. It hits the spot.
Dude, I'm never ever in a million years ordering a breakfast taco if I have my choice. Never.
Wow, that
never
is
gonna do
crazy.
it. Well, okay, so on movie sets in Austin, that's all they serve for breakfast. It's the easiest thing. You get there,
Yeah,
you're on
it's
set.
great.
Here's a breakfast taco. After you've eaten like 10,000 of them, you don't want to eat a breakfast taco again.
It's not going to change the world, but if you have a great breakfast taco, you feel exhilarated. You're
I
ready
beg
to
to
go.
differ. I beg to
like,
differ.
What is it? Taco Deli that has the Jessup Special breakfast taco.
That's okay. So
That's a great
I will
breakfast
give you
taco.
that because
Yeah.
they do their potatoes as mashed potatoes at Taco Deli.
And they mix it in with breakfast taco.
Oh my god.
Tyson's has an incredible breakfast taco. their Migas breakfast taco is elite. I learned from them that if you tear up not Mexican cheese, American cheese, and put that on a breakfast taco, it's actually the best cheese that goes with eggs. Even though we look down our noses at it, but yeah, dude, breakfast tacos. What's not to like? You got a flour tortilla, you got eggs, you got bacon, you got cheese, sometimes
chorizo.
sausage or chorizo. You got salsa.
I
maybe
prefer a
avocado.
lunch taco, dude. I want a lunch taco always instead of a breakfast taco.
Steve, let me ask you a question. Why not both?
Because they don't serve lunch tacos during breakfast time at the breakfast taco spots. That's what I'm saying. I'll walk in there and be like, what time's lunch? It's like me at McDonald's.
So you would much rather have a bacon, egg, and cheese
I
for
would much
breakfast than a
rather
breakfast taco?
a Big Mac versus an Egg McMuffin.
Oh, so you just have a problem with breakfast
Yeah,
in
he doesn't
general.
breakfast.
I want a
That's not a morning
soda
guy.
instead of a coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, in Texas you got breakfast tacos, but for some reason in California they do breakfast burritos, and they don't do
True.
breakfast burritos in Austin.
It's too much.
They don't do breakfast tacos out on the West Coast.
And I thought everything was bigger in Texas.
I could eat 3 breakfast tacos, no problem. I cannot get down a full breakfast burrito.
Yeah,
Too big.
It's a lot. It's a lot to hold in your hand.
Yeah.
You gotta have someone to share with, and then it makes you feel lonely. You know,
Yeah.
if you're alone,
Yeah,
if you're
true.
single.
Yeah.
But I'd say barbecue, man. Probably. I prefer Tex-Mex over barbecue, but here's a myth about barbecue. Because if you're in Austin and someone comes to visit, they'll be like, all right, we got to go to La Barbecue. We got to go to Franklin. We got to go wait in line for barbecue. You don't. And here's why. Because every barbecue at a certain level is the same quality. Once you get to a certain level, there's no distinguishable difference between barbecue. Unless we're talking about my boy Leroy and Lewis, Evan Leroy.
Yeah, they're
that's
great.
new school barbecue. But no, man, like you don't need to go to Franklin. You can just go to Black's. It's the
That's
same
2
thing.
back-to-back horrific food takes.
Hey, man,
I've had some bad barbecue.
I'm just giving you game. I'm giving you secrets.
Bill Miller's is terrible. Like
Yeah.
Bill Miller's barbecue, that kind of place. But those, especially if you go to like Lockhart,
Okay,
Texas,
yeah. Well,
like
dude,
Blacks.
Yeah, Lockhart. It's what, like 30 minutes from Austin.
Yeah.
And you get some of the best barbecue in the entire world. And there's multiple places you can go to.
I would say it is the best barbecue.
Not to be a contrarian, but you're wrong. You want to go out to Taylor, Texas, and go to Mueller Barbecue. Everyone will be like, let's go to Lockhart, and you
Isn't
can.
that the one that has like the 80-year-old woman?
Oh no, that was Snow's, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like that lady that she'll grab brisket, like full ass briskets off the smoker with her bare ass hands. Like she'll like move the coals around with
Her old wrinkly hands.
I love that.
And she's like, these hands, they don't burn. Like she will
Her hands
stick-
have seasoning in them
Yeah.
at this point.
I think she.
Yeah.
I think she might have passed on. Maybe.
Can I tell you guys
Might be.
about my best day in Austin and how it involved barbecue?
Yeah.
I stumbled into this one. So I had a friend that I played rugby with, and his aunt was a member of a barbecue competition group. And they have these barbecue competitions all throughout the summertime. Basically, you just get a bunch of people together in an open field. They camp out there overnight. They make their barbecue, and then they compete. And you get a blue ribbon or whatever if you win. He was like, my aunt is a member of a barbecue team, and they've got a festival out in Elgin tomorrow.
Oh, barbecue town.
Do you want to come out there because they need judges? And I was like, sure, yeah. What time should I get there? He was like, come out at 3 o'clock. So I go out there at 3 p.m. I don't know what I'm getting into. The barbecue festival, it's probably 80 people, and everybody that's out there is a member of the teams. So it's not like there's people walking around. This isn't really a festival where you go and like you bring the family and there's a slip and slide. It's just literally people getting together and cooking meat at the same time against each other. And they didn't have enough judges. So they bring me into this hall, and it's like me and maybe 10 other people, and they sit me down at this table, and they just proceed to bring me tray after tray of barbecue, some of the best barbecue I've ever had. And then they come over and they're like, hey, you're our judges. Are you guys thirsty? We have free beer, too, for the judges. And so then I got hammered as shit for about 6 hours. I judged the brisket competition, the ribs competition, the chicken wing competition, and the sides competition. Had like more than enough food for probably 2 full meals.
That's a
and
lot
got
of
drunk.
salt and pepper.
And it was incredible. It was absolutely magical. And I felt like I was stealing from them. But there's a lot of these competitions that pop up that they desperately need judges for. So if
Yeah.
you can get in good with like the local like diehard barbecuers,
Yeah.
you can have yourself a great Saturday.
And you weren't even chosen as like the celebrity judge.
No,
because
no.
this was before like
they're
Pardon My
thirsty
Take.
for
They were just
judges.
like, we just need a dude to.
I was just a guy. I
Just a guy.
I just show up and they're like, hey, my friend Eric, he'll judge your barbecue for you. They're like, Eric, thank God you're here.
I've also judged a barbecue competition in a similar circumstance.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
You must have had the meat sweats though.
Yeah,
Wow,
but it was so good. The only problem is like if you have 10 different bites of rib, one right after the other, you start to not be able to differentiate between all the different ribs.
That's because at a certain level, Eric.
They were all good.
Yeah, at a certain level, as long as the rib's not like dry, I'm gonna be like, this is a good rib, and
Right.
it's like, and it all comes down to the sauce. I mean, an incredible barbecue sauce can take an average rib and make it elite.
100%.
But that's not a good point, Beeve. I'm not going to let you look all smudgy over there and say that that's a good point, because that's anything in the world.
No,
like
no.
if I took you to the 10 best steakhouses in Chicago,
Sure.
by Steakhouse 7, you're like, that's good, but it's a steak.
Oh, you're right. But how many of those steakhouses do you have to wait in a line for 2 hours outside of like it's communist Russia?
Depends on if you're going on a Friday. Like you're going on a Saturday afternoon to get barbecue, you're going to wait in line for a good spot.
That's true.
For sure.
I had a friend that used to live directly across the street from Franklin Barbecue, and we had a group chat. And if it was lunchtime, once a week or so, there would be a day where there wasn't a big line for it. He would just let us know. And then we all go in there and wait in line for maybe 5 minutes. But then sometimes you go there, you wait in line, and they have to send somebody out after like 2 hours and be like, hey, this person is the last person that's guaranteed to get barbecue. Everybody else, just you can go home.
That's the best part about that business model of barbecue. Everyone says like don't get in the restaurant business, and you shouldn't. But if you're good at barbecue, you should, because it's the only food restaurant that like when they're out, they're out. You know what I mean? We made this much for the day. We're sold out. We
Selling
made our
out
nut.
is
We're
acceptable.
out.
Like the customer understands that you might sell out.
Makes you hotter, dude.
Like
Yeah.
if you go to Cracker Barrel and they don't have hash brown casserole, you're probably pissed.
You're not going back.
But you go get a dinosaur rib from Franklin's, you're like, that's understandable that you're out, because you'd be out like $50 if nobody came and bought them.
Makes
Yeah.
you want it more.
Right, exactly. Have you guys been to Franklin's or anything like that? Because now it's been open for like 10, 15 years or something like that. Has it fallen off at all?
I haven't been recently, but the last time I went, I think was maybe 2018, 2017. It was still good.
Yeah, I've
Still
been.
good,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been. I went when it was a truck. It was great. It's still great. Yeah.
The last time you two have been to Austin, how have you noticed it's changed since you lived there?
Oh man.
It's so different, man.
Well, you went.
I went
last 2 months ago, and you said, "How is it down there?" I said, "Weird, man."
Yeah, it's really strange. When I flew into town, I did not recognize the city at all because the
skyline's wild now.
state capitol used to be the tallest building in town, and then
And that was
after
the
that,
law.
yeah, it was the law.
And I think the state capitol there is the largest in the country.
It is. It's
is.
technically 10 feet taller than the U.S. Capitol. 'Cause
Fucking enormous.
everything's bigger in Texas.
There's a law that you're not allowed to fly the state flag above the American flag at a state capitol. So Texas said, okay, all right, we understand. We'll just fly our flag beneath, but ours is going to be way bigger. So the Texas flag is bigger than the
Big
American
flags
flag.
in Texas,
But that
dude.
used to be by far, it was the biggest building in Austin. Then the Frostbank Tower, that was there when we moved there. I think that might have been almost maybe a little bit taller, but
Yes.
that dominated the skyline. And now I flew in, and I did not recognize the skyline at all because it's all condo buildings down there.
Yeah, Sam, search Austin skyline.
It's crazy. Remember? Do you guys remember in Cocaine Cowboys they were talking about in the 80s? Like you could look at the Miami skyline and you could tell how much cocaine money was flowing in because there was a dozen cranes. When we were in Austin, it was the same deal with tech money. It was like high rises were going up 2 a year.
Fun little fact about the Frostbank Tower. If you want to pull it up, it used to be the biggest building in Austin. It used to be the one that you would recognize when you looked at the skyline. And if you see it, click at the second picture. Yeah, that one. So it looks like an owl, doesn't it?
A what?
An owl, the bird.
I could
Like
see
that's
it.
the beak right there, and then and then the eyes right there.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
okay.
designed to look like an owl
Oh, yeah,
because
now I see
the
it.
architects that designed that building, they went to Rice, and their mascot is the owl, and they thought it'd be funny if the biggest building in downtown Austin, where the University of Texas is, was actually representing Rice.
FU, Texas.
Yep.
No, it's gotten weird, dude. I saw a story about a streamer that was on a scavenger hunt. Like the streamers have moved in. So this streamer was on a scavenger hunt. She's called like Xena the Witch, right? And I think she like dated Sneeko, like real kind of like grimy chick. And the scavenger hunt was like go out and find all these geolocated tags all around. and they were rolling with paintball guns, and she was just blasting off her paintball gun on Lady Bird Lake Trail and shot some woman who was like, ah, and she's like, I don't give a fuck. And she ended up getting charged with assault, but like it's
That
not
checks out.
it's
Yeah.
not the city I remember. Like when we weren't there wasn't like streamers running $50,000 scavenger hunts with like a bunch of like dirtbag internet celebrities running around. The tech money came in, man, in a crazy way, and kind of raised the rent and the taxes to the point where what made Austin cool, in my opinion, was the music scene, and the musicians could like no longer really afford to live there, which is a bummer.
One of my favorite live performances ever was Stevie Ray Vaughan at Austin City Limits.
Yeah, buddy.
That fucking concert was so good.
Yeah, longest running television show other than Saturday Night Live, based out of, well, maybe the same year, 74 or 75. It's Austin City Limits on PBS.
Yeah.
Terry
It's
Lincona.
great. You can listen to almost any of their episodes, and it's going to be good music.
Yeah, I had a band do it
Pretty
one
nice.
time. It was like a highlight of my music management career.
Nice.
Was stand-up comedy big when you guys lived there, or is that?
Dude, I feel so bad for the diehard stand-ups that have been in Austin for 20
Yeah,
years.
there was a scene. There was like
Small.
its own scene. They had the Velveeta Room. They had Capital City.
Cap City Comedy Club, which is like it's in a strip mall. That was like the room.
But yeah, they had like a scene that they were very, very proud of. And then Joe Rogan moved in, and that's like when you talk about the Austin comedy scene now, people assume that you're talking about Joe Rogan and the Mothership. And I think a lot of the comedians that had like paid their dues there for a while just got real sick of his shit.
Yeah.
And they are very, very bitter about that.
Yeah, because he also, like, a lot of Joe Rogan's friends ended up moving too, and
Yeah.
now it's become like the spot. Like, if you're trying to make it in comedy, there's a lot of people that just move to Austin in hopes of maybe getting on Kill Tony,
Right,
or
right.
something like that, and getting their name out there.
Like that Mitch Hedberg guy, he was on Kill Tony. Like he fucking blew up.
Oh, yeah, are you talking about Casey
not Mitch
Rocket?
Hedberg.
No. You guys didn't see that? So this
Oh, yeah. The new, like, he has the same deadpan delivery.
right. Well,
Yeah.
So you can do Kill Tony, and if you make an impact, you could be, you could get launched. You can launch your career. But this guy is like a straight Mitch Hedberg ripoff artist.
Yeah.
And it did. I mean, not in a good way, but he blew up after
Yeah.
doing one episode of Kill Tony.
Casey Rocket's like that.
Casey Rocket's
Well,
talented though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's funny.
he's talented, but yeah, he was just working at the Mothership.
Right.
Just working as the doorman, and then eventually kind of had an opportunity to get up on stage. And
Well, that's the Comedy Store like hierarchy of how you do it, which is what the Mothership's supposed to be based on. It's like the Comedy Store in LA.
PFT, did you know that Casey Rocket used to work here?
I did not know that.
He was the Georgia State Viceroy.
No way.
Yeah, he told us about it. He's like, my first real gig in comedy was Barstool at the Georgia State Viceroy.
That's crazy. I did not know that. I had no idea.
He was like, they removed me because they didn't think it was funny.
yeah, he did try to get a full-time job at one point.
I like I like the idea of people moving to Austin from California and then spending their first summer there, and they're like, "What the fuck did I sign myself up for?"
Dude, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Man.
So I have a friend that lives there, and he recently had a baby, and he just like had to come up to Chicago for a month of the summer because he's like, I can't take my baby outside right now.
It's brutal,
it's
bro.
100 degrees every day. How would you guys handle the heat when you live there?
You spend a lot of time in lakes.
Yeah, a lot of
rivers.
lakes. People. Another controversial take. People will tell you got to go to Barton Springs, bro. You gotta go to the largest natural spring-fed pool in a major metropolitan area, Barton Springs, bro. You got to go down there.
Is that like right in the middle of the city?
So it's right south of the city. There's a spring-fed pool. It's a consistent, I think, like 68 degrees. It's a gigantic pool.
I want to say it's cold. I think it's like maybe even 59.
Well, here's my
I
point.
thought it was like 63.
It kind of stinks. It kind of stinks because it's too cold.
I mean, but that must feel great when
No.
it's 100 degrees just to jump in. Yeah, you don't want to lounge in there.
I'm a lounge guy when I'm going swimming. If I'm making the commitment, I want to
Go
lounge.
hippo mode, yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have a river that runs through the city, and that water, like you can swim in that river.
Cannot
right?
swim in that water.
Okay.
A lot of people are dying swimming in that water. A lot of people think that there's a serial killer in Austin because young men's bodies are washing up on the shores of Lake Austin on the regular.
And do you think it's just because they can't swim or what?
I think it's because when you've had a certain amount of drinks on Rainy Street, which is right there by the water, you look at that water and you say, I can beat that water. And then you try to swim across it.
And the current's so strong?
I think it's just a long swim.
I think that, and it's also there's a shitload of construction debris that's inside that water. So if you jump in, you're probably gonna hit yourself on some rebar, and then you're not gonna come back up.
Probably a great spot for magnet fishing.
Really good
Yeah,
spot.
that's where we almost went catfisting, is right there.
So
Wait, so catfishing is when you throw your fist in a catfish mouth,
Into a catfish hole.
and then they
it
latch on.
yeah.
Oh, so they got catfish in Austin.
Yeah, so my buddy Bradley Beasley lives in Austin. He did the cat fisting documentary, which turned into hillbilly hand fishing, and he was going to take me, Chaps, and PFT cat fisting one day. He was like, I'm not sure how good the cat fisting is here, but he was going to try. But yeah, your fist is the penis, and the catfish is the vagina.
One of the worst bruises I've ever had was when we did the rodeo shit.
That's right.
you got fucked up.
Dude, that bruise was horrific.
Yeah, that was the first time we really hung out, and Chaps was
Yeah.
like, okay, so here's the thing. I got a TBI, so I cannot hit my head. Bull comes out of the
That
gate.
that was like 10 years ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago at least. And my brain was fucked then. And I was like, I can't ride, but I'm willing to wrestle.
Dude,
A wrestle the bull?
Yeah.
Damn.
fighting a bull is fucking intense. I didn't really realize, and we were fighting a baby bull.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a full-size bull, and it was scary as shit.
I got that motherfucker's neck, though.
Yeah, you tried to suplex him, dude.
Yeah, I grabbed him by the neck and was going to go like belly to back. But yeah, I did almost take him down, and the guys were like, you can't choke.
You tried to trip the bull?
Yeah.
Real quick, one thing about the geography of Austin that pissed me off is what they call the river that's downtown. So there's a river that goes right through Austin, splits it in half. It's right
Colorado.
south of downtown. It's the Colorado River, but it's not the Colorado River.
It's a Colorado?
It's a Colorado River. It's not the same one that goes through the Grand Canyon.
Guadalupe River?
Oh.
No, but it's the Colorado River is what they call it. But if you live in Austin, you call that Town Lake, or you call it Lady Bird Lake.
Right, after Lyndon B's wife.
But it's not a lake. So if you grow up there, you have to be so confused about what a lake is because it's clearly a moving body of water. It's the main thing that goes through your city, and you grow up thinking that thing is a lake the entire time.
I think they could figure it out. It's dammed on either side.
Yeah, it's dammed,
so
but-
technically it's a lake.
No, but
what's the definition of a lake?
It has a current.
What's the definition of a lake? Lakes have currents.
Definition of a lake is a body of water that's surrounded by land.
I want the Webster's.
There can be an inlet to the lake, like Lake Superior has one.
Okay.
But they,
Surrounded by land.
yes, but there's also an inlet a lot of the times too. So it doesn't technically have to have like only land, but there's only one natural lake in Texas and the whole thing. Everything else is man-made.
Which one is that?
I don't remember what the name of it was, but there's only one. Because I did a trivia question of what's the only state without a natural lake, and the answer is Georgia, I believe it was.
Oh, wow.
I mean, what's the name of the lake where everybody goes for bachelor parties, bachelorette parties?
So Lake Travis.
You get a pontoon. Yeah.
So okay, there's two things you can do in Austin. First of all, you can't go on Lady Bird Lake. That's the Colorado River that's dammed right downtown.
Okay, so that's just a wide river. That
It's a
looks
wide
like
river.
lake.
Right. That's the one that people try to swim across, and people think there's a serial killer, but
And
it's
that's
really
only in the Austin limits, right?
that's right. It's from right outside. So Austin's really interesting. Where like you have that dammed up, and then right past that dam, you start to get into. Is it called Lake Austin? That part.
Yeah.
And that's where Joe Rogan lives. That's where McConaughey lives. That's where, like, honestly, if there was no dam there, those guys could hop on a canoe and commute downtown in like 6.5 minutes. It's pretty insane. It's like the only metro area that I can think of that has, you can live on like a lakefront mansion and effectively be downtown. But it's a very small area, that part of it.
Yeah, but that's where you go if you're trying to like rent a boat for bachelor parties. You go out to Lake Austin.
Yeah.
Which is, or is that Lake Travis?
Lake Travis is the one
Lake
far
Travis,
away. It's like
yeah.
45 minutes
But
away.
Lake Austin, too, like there's some nice like Airbnbs. I've stayed over there. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Up in the hill country a little bit. Really nice next to Mount Bonnell.
Mount
Good.
Bonnell,
That's where people go to
yeah.
fuck.
Oh,
They like
yeah.
to,
Hell
that's the
yeah.
thing. It's like that's how you earn your Austin card is have you fucked on Mount Bonnell?
I thought it was have you fingered on Mount Bonnell.
Either one, yeah.
Yeah, that's very weird because when I Google Lake Austin, it shows me a river.
Yeah, it's a river. It's a
river.
dammed river.
It's a river.
It's a river, okay.
It's very clearly a river.
Okay,
but if you
but it's
grow up in
called Lake
Austin,
Austin.
you refer to it as being a lake.
Town
It's
lake.
not. It's not a lake.
Yes.
Before we move on from fingering, do you think it's more intimate past the age of 35 to fuck or to finger?
Finger, dude.
I think finger and
100%.
I think a finger by a long shot.
If it's like passionate, if you're concentrating, the mood's just
Because if you're
right.
doing that,
really taking
you
your time.
you are fucking horny.
Yeah,
and
really
it's not
taking your time.
Like
Yeah.
if you're at the movies or something.
Oh, man. Fingering at the movies in your 30s.
Fuck.
Come on.
The best.
I just
missed
rewatched
that.
Breaking Bad, and there's a
Gotta
scene.
get back into that.
There's a scene in Breaking Bad where they're at like a school board meeting, and Walt just starts fingering Skylar.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What's going on?" And then she's like, "Oh my God, this is the hottest thing that I've ever done in my entire life."
Did you pop a bone? Was it hot for you?
I did pop a bone during it because
Yeah.
I hate Skylar.
Yeah.
I can't get
lot
horny
of
to
people do.
Skylar, but
so it's like a hate finger.
I can observe it and I can be like, "That is hot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the cool things about you guys moving to Austin too is you having kind of the idea of Breaking Bad before Breaking Bad even came out. Was that one of the reasons why you moved down there?
Yeah, it had something to do with it. We wanted to make it into a full-length movie at some point. We made it in college. It was myself, Pat, our friends Mark, Wes, Will, and Colin, and we had this idea. It was a short story that I wrote in my comedy writing class my senior year, and we based it off some guys that Pat and I knew that lived in Harrisonburg with us.
Danny and Brian.
Danny and Brian, some real meth guys, and they were like the funniest dudes ever, unintentionally.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Yeah, and so we thought it'd be funny if they tried to make meth, but they didn't have anybody to do it with, but they had a high school chemistry teacher that was willing to help them out. And then we did that, made it into a short film, and then we said, let's move to Austin, let's try to make some movies, and let's see if we can do a full-length version of this, and then also some sketch comedy. And we were so dumb back then, we went to go visit Austin because we were basically looking for somewhere to move after college.
Yes.
We didn't want to stay in our college town.
Yeah.
We went to Charlottesville for about a year and a half. It was kind of fun, but didn't really want to stick around there. We wanted something a
Marching
little bit
around
bigger.
with tiki torches and shit.
Yeah,
This is pre-Tiki Torch, but
Okay.
we did shop at that Big Lots a lot.
and I have pissed on the Robert E. Lee statue. I was not making a political statement at the time, but that park was directly on my way home to my apartment from the bars.
Right.
And so I would be really drunk and I'd have to go on the way home. That's the easiest place to pee.
Robert E.P.
Robert
That's
E.P.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, so we went to go visit Austin for a weekend. We're like, we'll scope it out, see if this fits in with our idea of, where we want to really settle down and start being artistic. And we went to Austin, just got blackout drunk for probably 48 hours. And
That's
then we were
true.
like, I love this city.
This is the place.
This city's perfect.
It was Austin or New Orleans. New Orleans would have killed us.
Are there a lot of people in Austin making movies? Because you would think like, oh, I want to get into showbiz. Let's move to Los Angeles.
Right. We were afraid. That's what was going on. So this was like when early days of the internet, sketch comedy was taking off, which is so funny because we were on YouTube when no one else was on YouTube and still not finding success.
Oh, we were on the front page of Funny or Die a few times.
Yeah,
That was
college
nice.
humor,
That's
Funny or
success.
Die.
Yeah, Funny or Die used to be the shit.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Will Ferrell used to do stuff with them.
We got some good ones. We were trying to do like a sketch a week, and that was the goal, right? Eric's mom got us a camera. We all lived in a house together. It was like, let's write a sketch film and put it on YouTube. And yeah, we should have gone to LA probably, but it seemed like too big of a move, I guess. And we didn't really have any connections or relationships. And honestly, I don't know if LA would have been the move because it's like you can go there to try to be an actor, but we wanted to live someplace inexpensive where we could like live together and make stuff. And yeah, there's a film scene in Austin. So Robert Rodriguez is there. Richard Linklater is there. Mike Judge is there. Those are the big boys. And
Mike Judge, shout out.
yeah,
King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill.
Office
Shout out
Space.
Silicon Valley, Office Space.
I met him one time at Magnolia Cafe, Magnolia Diner. I was there at like 2:30 in the morning. I ordered some nachos, and I walk in, and I'm there to pick up my food, and I'm wearing my Beavis and Butthead shirt. Beavis and Butthead Do America. And I go to the cashier, and I'm like, hey, do you have my nachos yet? She's like, no, not ready just yet. Just hang out for about 5 minutes. The guy next to me at the counter turns to me. He's like, Beavis and Butthead. I was like, yeah. He goes, you know the guy that makes that show, he lives here in Austin. I was like, yeah, I've heard that. And the lady comes up, serves my nachos. I go out to the car, and I sit down, and I say, wait a second. Let me pull my phone out real quick. And I looked up Mike Judge, and it was Mike Judge that was there.
That's
Playing it
almost
cool.
like that Jason Veritek jersey sighting.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
Yeah.
But like if Mike Judge walked in here right now, I don't think that everyone would recognize him. He's like he's like a normal looking guy, blends in really well.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't. That's the thing when you're a movie director. Like Office Space is one of my favorite comedies, but yeah, I had no idea what he looked like.
He looks like he could play Jason Statham in every movie ever.
Right.
Yeah.
But those guys were there. That's post TRT Mike Judge. Mike Judge didn't used to look like that. That's post TRT Mike Judge.
Okay, he took the Bezos treatment.
100%. But he's so rich, bro.
There's a film scene there.
Yeah,
There's definitely a film scene.
There's usually there was two major movies a year. And
I think the important thing is just there's a lot of other young people doing creative stuff.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
But it used to be a scene that was like, it was a small town when we moved there. It was like you could kind of connect with everyone. We're like, how do we get in with Robert Rodriguez? Like you knew like what the goal was, and then you knew who was around you in the community. Now it's very different. It's very segmented. A lot of people like using their houses for Airbnbs.
How do I get in with Elon?
The music scene's kind of died. Elon's there. It's
Yeah.
weird, man. It's weird.
We moved in. It was cheap as fuck. I think my first apartment was a 2-bedroom apartment there, $700 a month.
It was 900.
I think mine was $711.
Mission Grace Woods Apartments, man. That's where we were. It was in the fucking hood, dude.
It was bad. It was a bad place. A lot of break-ins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, having a place so cheap is like huge when you're trying to do creative outlets where you're probably not going to make much money. Like I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't moved to Shanghai, because I was in a position where I was like, if I tutor 10 hours a week, I can at least pay the bills.
Right.
And then the rest of the time I can focus on stuff that's going to make me $0.
500 a week. That's what it was in Austin when we
Yeah.
moved there. If you could make 500 a week, you were cool. But they call it the Velvet Rut for that reason. Like there's so many people that go down there and like, oh, wait a minute, I can work at a video store and make my living. That's what I'm gonna do, man. Just smoke weed, ride my bike, work at this video store, and swim in this really cold pool.
They might actually still have a video store there. iHeart Video.
I heard video.
Like a store you go into, they have VHS, they have DVDs. I'd be shocked if I heard. I'd be sad.
I don't know if
The
it's still
people that
there.
would have to go in there would be so unbelievably annoying.
Oh yeah, well that's the other thing is the Alamo Draft House is based out of Austin, and that was a huge mecca for a film scene, which was really weird because their flagship, if you would call it, is what is Joe Rogan's Comedy Mothership now. That was their downtown, but their main theater was on South Lamar, in this nasty strip mall, and they would have like mega premieres there, like stars would flock to this strip mall to honor the Alamo Draft House because there were a bunch of bloggers that were hanging out there out of that scene. So it was like it was cool, man. Like Elijah Wood was around. I used to eat at a restaurant that he lived around the corner from, and one time,
Frodo,
the little one.
Shout out Frodo.
It was Elizabeth Street Cafe, and they were closing early for a company party. So we were like the last ones that got in for lunch, and we're sitting outside, and Frodo walks up to try to get a table. And they were like, sorry, Frodo. And he looked all dejected. And then I was like to my buddy, I was like, you shall not pass.
One time, Pat, I don't think we've ever told this story before, but we were very much trying to make it some way, somehow, as a comedy writing group. We were looking for ideas anywhere. We were trying to make as many shorts as we could. And through Pat, I think it was were you working at a restaurant? And somehow, some way, you got linked up with Quinn Snyder.
Yeah.
And Quinn Snyder, he used to be the coach. He was an assistant coach at Duke for a long time. He was the head coach at Missouri. Then he kind of washed out of basketball for a little bit. And then he came back in as the Austin Toros head coach.
Dude, so yeah, I was working at a wine bar on South Congress, which is like a hot street in Austin. And this wine bar sucked. It was called Sissy's. It's now Hop Daddy Burger. It's way busier. But no one ever came in, except sometimes this guy would come in. He was like real handsome looking and like had something about him. And I was like, what is... And I'm not a basketball guy, so I didn't really know who Quinn Snyder was. But we got to chatting, and he was like, yeah, I'm in basketball. I said, you're in basketball? Okay, what do you mean? He goes, so I coach the D-League team, the Austin Toros, which is the San Antonio affiliate in Austin. And I came home, and I think I told Eric, I said, I ran into some basketball guy today. His name's Quinn Snyder. And your eyes got big. You're like,
this is my big break.
Quinn Snyder. Well, I didn't know who he was. And PFT explained to me that, like, I guess he'd had some, like, rough times at Mizzou, maybe?
Yeah, he was like, he was an up-and-coming coach. He was like the next big thing, and then things didn't work out for him at Mizzou. Now he's actually the coach of the Atlanta Hawks, so he kind of got back into it.
At the time, that was not a possibility.
Not a possibility. So he was very much just like trying to scrape by, take whatever job he can get.
He was in jail, essentially. He was in, like, basketball jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you wouldn't bat an eye at meeting the Austin Toros head coach.
Well, dude, he was telling me how shitty it was, and I guess he married Larry Brown's daughter, so he's like basketball royalty. But like, he was like, dude, I can't even tell you how bad this is. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the facility we practice in also lends showers to homeless men. So, so it's like my guys will wrap the practice and go to take a shower, and they'll have to wait for a group of homeless men to finish their
Excuse
shower.
me, Rodney,
Yeah,
trying
we're
to
just-
get in here.
Comparing Cox with the local homeless people.
So he started telling me these insane stories of what it was like to be on top and then to now be at the bottom, essentially exiled. And Eric and I started talking about, well, that kind of sounds like a cool idea for a TV show.
Didn't he
yeah.
do something crazy too? To
I-
get fired?
I forget exactly what he did when he was at Mizzou, but if it happened nowadays, I'm sure there'd be like exposés on it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was a situation where it might have been too fast for him. But yeah, he was also saying I think he married into the Kroenke family.
I thought it was Larry Brown's daughter. Maybe I'm wrong.
I forget. I remember him distinctly saying, because Pat was talking to me about Quinn Snyder, and we're like, this is a very funny situation that he's in. We should try to pitch him a pilot, like a TV show, to write about the circumstance that he's in. Kind of like The
Ted
Office. Yeah, The Office, Ted Lasso before Ted Lasso. Yeah, I guess we invented Ted Lasso.
Yeah. A little.
Invented Breaking
Yeah,
Bad
we
and
invented
Ted
Ted
Lasso.
Lasso.
Right. He's a coach who has to take a job he doesn't want to because, no one will hire him, but he loves the game.
Yeah.
Not the same vibe.
And he loves teaching.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, we ended up meeting with him for some beers.
And by the way, which is insane because I'm his waiter. I'm his bartender. And I'm like 23
I mean,
at the
he
time.
was down bad, it seems.
He was down bad, and I was like, "Dude, this is such a good idea for a TV show." I've never made a TV show at this point in my life. I'd made like 2 short films, maybe. I was like, "But dude, trust me, come meet with me and my boys."
So we started pitching him this idea where it's like, yeah, you're a coach that you're down on your luck, but you still love the game, and more importantly, you love teaching people. So this is what you want to do. You want to work with these up and coming basketball players and see if you can get them on the right track in a situation that's very uncomfortable for you. And he was like, "This sounds great. This sounds great, guys." And then I don't think we heard back from him after that beers meeting.
You know where we met? We met him at the best dive bar in Austin, Texas, the GNS Lounge.
GNS Lounge, yeah.
Right.
This place is hilarious. It's been written up so many times, and in every write-up, it says, this is a great place, but chances are about 50-50 that you'll get kicked out.
Dude, Jimmy, the bartender, is in the review. So, so in the GNS Lounge, they have this beer fridge, and it looks like you should be able to go, because it's like, you're like, is this a market? Is it a bar? You're not sure. It looks like you should be able to go and get a beer out of the fridge and open it. And if you do that shit, Jimmy will take your hand off, dude.
Love that.
Immediately kicked
Jimmy
out.
is he's a soup Nazi, but at the GNS Lounge, it's a great spot.
I was just there 2 months ago, and I was playing. They have a great arcade setup, really choice video games that you can play. And one of them is next to the bathroom.
Oh, there it is.
I play like 3 rounds of this like battleship submarine game thing, and I've been there for maybe 15 minutes, and then somebody walks out of the bathroom. It's this lady that's been in the bathroom for a while. She's looking like she had some fun in the bathroom.
Going through it.
And
Powdered her nose.
Took a dump, huh?
I don't think it was.
Or-
I think it was probably she was working with some dang that's methed up type situation.
Okay.
And so she sees me and she like freezes. And she goes, "If you go in the bathroom, make sure to bring your phone." And I was like, "Okay."
To call for help?
And she goes, "You can get lost in there." And I was like, "All right." And then she walks away. I went to the bathroom like 10 minutes later to take a piss. It's a pretty normal bathroom. It's
Yeah.
about your standard bathroom. It's got a toilet and a sink.
Yeah, because what else would they do? Why
I know
would you
she
make
got
it like
lost
a
in the
corn
bathroom.
maze?
She was like on Google Maps trying to figure out how to get to the GNS Lounge.
Dude.
So I remember Quinn texted me, I think I could see if I can find the text still. If my phone saved it, probably not. But he essentially said, like, love the idea. I think that people would know it's about me.
That's what I was.
And he was like, and I still have
thinking that. Like,
aspirations.
that's kind of insulting. Like, it's basically about you. You know how you fucked up, and now you're down here.
Oh, I think
coaching
that's
a
why he took the
shitty-
meeting, Chaps, is because I was so brazenly insulting him by telling the truth. It's
Yeah.
like, look, a loser.
Yeah.
A total loser.
Look, I realize you're still probably a millionaire, but you gotta admit, you're kind of a loser.
You're like fucking sucks. And that's great for a show.
Hair's still great though.
No, he's an awesome dude.
I mean, yeah, the fact he even took the meeting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
cool.
applaud him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Good guy.
Liked hanging out with him.
And now he was the Jazz coach. Who does he coach now?
He's the head coach for the Atlanta Hawks right
Look,
now.
if we'd made the show, Quinn
Wow.
would have never made it back.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Toros, what is your prediction of when Austin will get a professional sports team, and what sport will it be?
It's a great question.
Because right now it's the largest city in largest city in the USA that does not have a
pro sports team.
Austin FC.
Yeah, just soccer. Yeah.
Yeah.
They love
We're not going to count that. It's
they
not,
love their
it's
Major
not
League
one of the
Soccer
big
team,
four.
though.
So
Yes, they do. Will there be a World Cup match in Austin?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I don't think they
That
could-
I think if they
stadium's
do it-
pretty small.
Yeah.
I think if they do it in Texas, they would probably have
going to
a
be
Jerry's World.
It's going to be a Jerry's World, and they're calling
the
it.
World Cup is fucking up. Like, there's not going to be a World Cup match in Chicago, which is beautiful in the summer.
That's crazy.
But there's going to be matches in Dallas and Miami where it's going to be hot as balls.
Right.
They could do Longhorn Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's at Jerry World.
Yeah.
So so there was rumors years ago that between where we used to live and where Chaps used to live, there's a town called San Marcos where Texas State is.
Yep.
There's rumors that the Raiders were buying land there. That's where it would be. They would split the markets between San Antonio and Austin, I believe. But man, like UT boosters are powerful, like powerful.
Shout out Red McCombs.
I don't.
Well, not
think-
really a shout out, but mention him.
Red McCombs exists.
And-
Joe Jamel, he used to be I think they named the field after him there.
Yeah.
It's been, I mean, like UT football is such a deep part of that culture, and everyone in power loves UT football so much. I don't know if maybe if they did it outside of Austin, it could work, but inside Austin, I don't think they would allow it to happen.
I think, yeah, they did buy up a bunch of land there, but that was more because like Vegas used to be the place that every owner could say, if you don't give me $500 million for a stadium, we're moving to Las Vegas.
But pre-sports gambling legalization, they couldn't, right? Like Vegas was not an actual destination.
I think they would threaten it,
Right,
and
right.
it was enough leverage where people would say, okay, we'll give you the tax money that you want to build your stadium. And then the Raiders did the smart thing. They're like, we're going to buy a bunch of land because that way people will think that we're going to move to Texas. Then we'll get more money to build our own stadium. But yeah, I think it would work. I mean, San Antonio is a massive
Huge
city.
market.
I think baseball would be more successful.
Well, I heard that
And I don't-
Nashville's
Jerry
looking at a
would
team.
never allow the NFL to go to another like that close because you're talking 3.5 hours.
Yeah, he would flip
from
about that.
Dallas.
Right.
He'd never allow that because Houston's 5 from
Yeah.
there. I don't think 3 hours would ever work.
Yeah.
Man, Longhorn football is just so. You were on the beat. I got PFT a job writing for the Longhorns at the Austin Chronicle.
I wrote the hornography column.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And it was a challenge because I was not well versed in the Texas lore. I feel like if you're going to write about the Longhorns in Austin, it's probably a better idea to hire somebody that's kind of grown up around.
They were
Longhorn
fired up
football.
about you because you had started your Twitter.
Yeah.
My buddy was the sports editor there, and he's like, PFT Commenter? I was like, yeah, he's looking for work. Do you
Yeah.
think that he'd write for the-
Pornography's looking for a writer.
Pornography. I think that was like $45 a week. That was good pay.
Yeah.
And I would write like 400 words, not a big column whatsoever. It was buried in an alt weekly, the Austin Chronicle, which you don't get the Austin Chronicle for sports coverage. So it's like an also page. Here's what happened with the Longhorns. But yeah, I wrote about them once a week for like, I want to say 2 years. Yeah, it was interesting.
Was that before kissing Susie Colbert?
I think that's so. I quit my software job in 2013, maybe.
He killed it, by the way, selling software. This man's a
really?
born salesman.
You know what? I'm kind of shocked at that. Like, I don't know. I've never seen you as a salesman type
Yeah.
guy. Just
Oh, he's
'cause
so good.
You're very genuine, and you kind of don't have that like salesy, pitchy vibe to you.
That was
Brother,
kind of.
I drive a Chevy simply because of PFT.
There you go.
But that's
See, that's
because
how I
he's
get
like a
you.
friend you
Yeah.
can trust.
That's
But
how I
yeah.
get
My job
I
was
do
waiting
that.
tables. His was sales.
The mountains are blue.
Yep.
All those things.
Yeah, I guess just PFT comes across as trustworthy.
That's
so
how I
like,
get you. That's how I lure you. No,
Wow.
I was very good about being honest about what I did and didn't know. And fortunately, I worked for a company that had like really, really good software developers. And so most people that I was talking to, I'd be like, hey, just talk to Jeff Ballmer and he'll tell you about like the guy that runs our company. So like I had people that would vouch for me. But it's more about just like asking questions. I hated it. I didn't like it. Being a salesman sucks.
But you did
It's
cars,
tough.
dogs,
use dogs.
software.
trees.
Christmas trees. Yep.
Did you say used dogs?
Use dogs.
Yeah, not new ones.
I worked for a company called Paw Match, a nonprofit
Okay.
that was located. It's actually I think the land that it was on might be where the Tesla factory is now.
You got any pits?
It's in that area of town. And so I got paid. I think it was $5.25 an hour, and I would go every morning.
These were hard times, dude.
I would go every morning in my truck out to Del Valley, and I'd pick up my dogs for the day. And usually you get somewhere between 6 to 10 dogs. You really wanted to be assigned puppies.
You would put
because-
them in the back of the Chevy Avalanche?
No. I would get a van. They had
Okay.
a van that had all the crates in there. But I would pick them up early in the morning. You wanted puppies because puppies, they draw people in. And you can get a puppy adopted like that. Old dogs, very tough to get them adopted. But they would load up my van with puppies and dogs. I would then drive them back into Austin in a van that sometimes didn't have air conditioning, which I felt terrible for the dogs in, but what am I going to do? So I would set up shop outside of a PetSmart or outside of a grocery store like an H-E-B, and then I would have like a donation jar, and then I would have the adoption forms, and then people would drive by and be like, hey, you want to come see some of these dogs? And then I would, like, if I had a puppy, I'd pick them up and I'd do the little puppy wave with their paws to people that drove by.
Yes.
You're
And-
adopting a puppy if you see that.
Yeah, and then people would come by and then they'd be like, oh, look at this great puppy. I'd be like, this puppy's good, but what about this 6-year-old Catahoula? That needs a home too.
Knowledge. He's wise, this one.
And so, yeah, it was $5.25 an hour. You got $20 for every dog that you got adopted. And I don't think we kept any of the donation money. I think that all went into the safe at the end of the day. But it was a fun job. I would bring Leroy out there sometimes.
Would you say you were better at selling used dogs or selling software?
I was the best dog salesman that you've ever seen. I would put myself like top 10 of all time.
I mean, dogs kind of sell themselves.
How many dogs were you moving
yeah,
a
but
week?
there's an art to it. There's an
okay.
art to moving these dogs.
How many units?
Good day, I'd probably get like 4 or 5 dogs adopted.
Damn,
Bro,
that's
it's 20
good.
paws.
Yeah, I was moving product. And I remember I used to take Leroy out there sometimes because Leroy was about 165, 170 pounds, big boy. And I would have Leroy set up in one of the pens too, knowing that people would see a giant English Mastiff and come over and be like, is that Mastiff for adoption?
What do they call it in the sales business? It's like a promotion. That's like
yeah, promote, like it's marketing.
right. It's like mailing out a gold
Kind
key.
of a little
that
bit
could
of a
start
bait
car.
and switch.
Exactly,
Yes,
bait and switch. A
bait
lot
and
of bait
switch.
and switch. And so they'd come over. I'd be like, "That's my dog. Unfortunately, he's not up for adoption. But can I interest you in this rat terrier? It's a great dog.
What we're not going to do is talk shit about rat terriers because that's what Lady May is.
I'm not. I didn't talk shit.
I knew she was a rat.
Did
Don't
not.
you fucking dare, Donnie.
Did not talk
I-
shit.
We might not
Wait,
make our 1 year podcast.
That's a rat
is that-
terrier? I thought for sure that was a chihuahua.
Yeah, rat terrier chihuahua.
Oh, it's a rat. It's half rat, half chihuahua. Okay.
Didn't know they could breed.
I can't believe you.
We used to, yeah, we used to bring like a bunch of these dogs out. And there were a few dogs that I cried when I got them adopted because they'd been with me for like a few months, and they were great dogs. I still my favorite dogs, Whizzer, which
Whizzer.
I was strongly advocating to change his name. I was like, nobody's going to adopt a dog named Whizzer.
Because that's the first thing you ask is
Yeah.
a housebroken.
Yeah, I was
whenever
like,
you
this
get
is-
a adopted
Wizard.
dog.
This is a terrible name that you, and I don't even think that they took that name when the dog was like surrendered or taken to the pound. I think they gave him that name at paw match. I was like, we got to change his name to like,
At least Wizard.
yeah, Wizard or
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah, Wizard's a cool name.
Wizard's
Yeah,
a
Wizard
great.
is a
Do you want Baby Biter or Wizard?
Yeah, there was Wizard, there was Sky, there was Bumble. I remember those 3 dogs. I think I cried.
Bumble launched in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
when they all got adopted. But shout out to Jesse Plemons. He was working on Friday Night Lights at the time. He came into Paw Match one day, or he stopped by my Paw Match setup as he was going to PetSmart, and I gave him the whole spiel. Yeah, these dogs were in shelters. We picked them up, and now we're trying to find them homes. And he was like, "That's awesome, man. It's really cool." Pulled out a $20 bill, popped it right in the donation jar.
I love
go.
Clemens.
Guy.
I used to see him around all the time.
Seems like a nice guy.
Nice guy. I had a long conversation with him one time talking about ladies, women. Am I right? And I was like, "Where'd you meet your girl?" And he was talking about how he met his girl, and like how he had to ask her dad for the hand in marriage, and he's like a German dude. And I realized he was talking about Kirsten Dunst, but I played it cool.
I
Played
had
it
no
super
idea
cool,
he was
dude.
married to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. I said, "Oh, who? Oh, that's weird. Never heard of her."
That van you drove around, I used to drive like the working dogs around. No chance it didn't smell like an absolute bucket of dicks.
It smelled terrible.
just horrible.
Expressed anal glands is what it smelled like.
Sometimes you would get dogs that were sick, and they were just having diarrhea all over their crates, and the whole van would smell. It was a bad scene. And looking back on it, the guy that ran it was a real piece of shit. He did not care about dogs at all. He was like, this is a money making enterprise. So one day we all go to work in the morning to pick the dogs up, and he's just nowhere to be found. And he had just fled. He had just gotten out of town because I guess the company Paw Match had too many complaints, sick dogs, dogs without their shot. It was a fly-by-night organization, and he got the fuck out of town. And then we all, like all us getting paid $5.25 an hour, had to figure out what do we do with 130 dogs. and this entire operation, we had to figure out how to like get rid of these dogs without giving them back to the shelters.
How many units did you move that day?
I don't know. I forget. We were in panic mode because like we had no idea what was going on. He wasn't answering phone calls. He just left town. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have a responsibility to the dogs, and like you're not getting paid, so you're not working.
Right, but
you know?
like I'm not going to just like leave and have these dogs go back to shelters and then they're going to die. They're going to be put down. This guy that ran the place,
DeVille would probably take him.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So
Like a couple coats.
On my training day that I had for this job, he's like this British dude. He's like, I'll show you how to get some dogs adopted. Watch and learn. This lady comes up to him and he goes, "See this dog right here? We rescued this dog out of a lake." And the lady was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, its owner took him out on a boat in the middle of the lake, threw it in the lake. Didn't think the dog was going to make it to shore. It swam to shore. Somebody picked it up, brought it to us, and now it's here." And they're like, "That's amazing."
And that's the reason why the dog's name is Ladybird.
Yeah, what an incredible story.
He's like, I didn't know you like to get wet.
So they adopted the dog, and 15 minutes later, this person comes up and is like, "So where do these dogs come from?" He goes, "This one right here. This one was in a lake." that was his go-to story. He probably told that to like 500 people. 500 people in Austin right now think that they adopted a special dog that was swimming in a lake for dead. Yeah.
Now that you say that, Lady May, my newest puppy that I got from Paws, they told me a story that she came up from Texas in that horrible flood in Kerrville, and then baby Dale came from the hurricane that hit Houston a couple years ago, probably 6 years ago.
That's where my dog
now.
was from.
Yeah. And so I think I might have got the only one that I know the story is true is Gus got hit by a car because he had like road rash. And I'm pretty sure he has CTE because he is dumb.
He's awesome, though. I love Gus.
He's the best, yeah. He's
cool.
so sweet.
I do think that hurricane dogs are a real thing, though.
Yeah, probably
If
so.
a bad flood hits, then yeah, there's a lot of homeless dogs. But yeah, it was actually a very rewarding job.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Except not monetarily.
Not monetarily.
No.
But, one time they accused me of stealing. They were like, "Hey, didn't find your deposit in the safe last night." I was like, "I don't know what to tell you. Are you accusing me of stealing the $60? Because it's in there." I put it in the bag, sealed it up, dropped it in, and yeah, they brought in like a security guy to grill all of us. I was like, "Dude, I did not steal the $60 from the dogs."
I would hope not.
Yeah, that guy was a piece of shit.
I think you had a better job. I got you a couple jobs down there, but I got you a 2-dayer in your commercial debut. A lot of commercials made in Austin, Texas. A lot of people from Canada or up north. There's like base in Minneapolis. They'd be like, "Let's go make our commercial someplace warm during the winter." They'll go to Austin. And I was producing a commercial for Montana Mike's.
Yeah.
Small steakhouse chain you may have
yeah.
heard of.
The rolls there are unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, great rolls. PFT had just quit his sales job. And he was like, "Man, I need some work." I said, "You can come out and be a production assistant on this Montana Mike's commercial." And terrible production assistant.
That was bad.
But
Really bad at
we needed a bartender. See if you can pull up that Montana Mike's commercial. There he is.
Montana Mike.
Yeah, look how excited you are to
that's
serve
you?
some beers.
That's me,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, he didn't always have long hair.
Yeah. So that's probably 2012,
Yeah, probably
2013.
2012.
If somebody showed me that picture, I would never like if they were like, "Who is this?" We've known each other for a decade. I would be like, I don't know that man.
Yeah, young and spry.
Yeah.
A little whippersnapper. I also worked. I haven't thought about this job in a long time, but I was trying to piece together money however I could. There was this Canadian guy that was trying to make a movie, and he was hiring screenwriters to write his movie for him. And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good.
I remember
I'll
this.
give that a shot." So I showed up to this sketchy ass office building in Northeast Austin. And it was the dingiest place. Like the elevators weren't working. I think it was like a part-time crack hotel. And he brought me up to this room, and he was just asking me like, "Okay, write me a movie." And looking back on it,
and then
looking back
said,
on
"I'll
it,
wait."
It's the most ridiculous premise. I have no idea what this guy was doing. He was like, "What do you want to write me a movie about?" And I was like, "I don't know. I like sports." And he was like, "Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere."
So he was like, "I have a genius idea. I'm going to hire 5 people to write me movies.
Yeah.
They're going to be hits."
I'm going to hire a completely unqualified kid with
He
no
didn't-
professional writing experience.
But
to,
you could
And
have
he
done
didn't
it.
even
You would've done a
have
great
like I
job.
could see if you're like, "Oh, I have like the best idea for a movie, but I'm not a good writer." But
Yeah.
he was just like, no, I just want to make a movie.
Yeah, so he would just check in with me at the start, and then he'd leave for like 2 hours and come back.
He would make you do it on the clock?
Yeah, and so I was, I think I was getting paid like, I don't know, $6 an hour, and I would work maybe 10 hours a week for this guy. But he would come back in and check on me after a few hours, and he'd be like, "So what do you have?" And I'd be like, "Okay, do you like hockey?" He's like, "Not really." And I was like, "Well, it's a hockey movie about these two, the Jablonski brothers. They're also former Polish hitmen that are now playing minor league hockey in the United States." And he's like, I don't know if hockey movie is going to sell to my investor. And I was like, wait, so
My dad.
So this guy has an investor that is paying him money so that he can pay somebody else money to come up with a movie idea for him. Then I found out what he was actually
And what
doing.
did his investor invest in? Just like, hey, listen, do you want to invest in me? I'm going to
His
make
brain.
a movie.
It's like when Big Cat asked Mark Cuban to invest in his brain.
Yeah, I guess so.
True.
I had this. It was a weird Canadian guy, and I used his computer. And when he would leave, I would like be on the internet looking things up, and this guy was on all the Craigslist jack-off sites. This
yeah.
guy was leaving every day, at least twice a day, to go get jacked off somewhere. I found out that's what he was doing when he was like, "Okay, you write this movie for me. I have an appointment. I'll be back in a little bit." He was getting hand jobs. He was just like going to
An
hookers,
old-fashioned handy.
getting jacked off, and then coming back, and then he would get mad at me for not doing hard enough work for him.
It's the most.
As he was getting
Whoever
jacked
invested in this guy is the biggest sucker.
Do you remember the name of the
history.
guy?
The guy's just getting
I-
jerked off of
Aaron-
the money while he
was it-
hires someone else to.
I didn't even know there
off.
was jerk
It's
off.
probably in my Gmail.
Because I wonder, I'm just, you know, that there's that Canadian billionaire, Barry Sherman, who was murdered, and he was investing in some like shady, bad movie producer who was making B movies. Mm-hmm. I wonder.
Let's see. It's probably in my Gmail from back then.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy that he was making you write on the clock.
That's just like I
Yeah.
feel like jobs like that don't exist anymore. But
Punch
like
in.
back in that time. And,
Oh, I thought you meant jerking people off. I'm like, no.
oh no,
that
those still
exists.
exist. But like no one like how does someone like that get an investor?
Dude,
And what's their big like plan?
I
Just
worked for
make
a guy like
movie?
that. I worked for a guy like that who was a clearly gay man, just one of the gayest men I've ever met in my life, who married this unfortunately ugly woman who was very wealthy, and his dream was to make movies, but he had no talent. So it was about making the movies. He's a Polish guy, and he was like, "We make the movie, yes," and the movie sucked, and his lady kept shoveling cash into his productions, and he didn't care if they were good or bad. He just wanted to be a movie producer.
I bet you upload that bad boy in Poland and you got some shit going
We
on.
tried. I was his sales agent for a while. No one wanted to buy fucking anything this guy made.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found some of the emails from him. He did do some work on the movie. I don't want to sell this guy short. He gave me a title,
Okay.
and then he was like, "Write this movie. Here's your title."
Based on a title.
It's called Big Kahunas.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, it should be a comedy. And then he wrote me back saying, something is pulling at me, which, I mean, in retrospect,
He was getting a tug job at
he
the
was
time.
getting, yeah.
Sent from my iPhone.
Wait, but how does he come up with that title? Like, did his investor being like, okay, I'm investing in you to make a movie called Big Kahunas.
And he goes,
I don't care what it's about.
Well, he came up with the title because he's the creative. It was Divine Intervention. It's a great title.
is this a crime comedy, a sex comedy, a sports comedy?
What's a sex comedy?
I don't know.
You know what it could be? It could be a water park movie because there's a water park near Pensacola Beach that's called Big Kahunas.
Big Kahunas. I
Kahuna
like that.
Water
Yeah.
Park.
Like
I think if you had like an office type of TV show, but it's at a water park,
right.
that could be incredible.
Or like
So-
Adventureland style.
Who here can tell me what kahuna actually means?
Big Kahuna wave.
No.
Okay.
Because yeah, all I knew is that it was a Hawaiian term.
Right,
It
right.
Big
sounds-
Kahunas. Tits?
Nope. It kind of just means a wise man or shaman. In Hawaii, that's what it means. But in, I guess, like English vernacular, it just means an important person.
Oh, shout out.
I think the
Folger.
movie should have been about a pair of buddy plastic surgeons who were native Hawaiians who did mostly breast augmentations. Right? But they were the kahunas, right? And then also the tits that they did were the kahunas. It's a double entendre.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah. But then where's the conflict besides these two people just
Yeah, it's easy. They're doing a breast augmentation on a mob boss's wife, and she dies. Not their fault, but she dies. Unrelated complication. But now they're in big trouble, okay? Because essentially her blood is on their hands. So they go on the run, and that's all I got worked out so far.
That's actually
but it's pretty
plot,
strong.
That's actually the plot of season 6 of Nip Tuck.
Okay.
Oh.
Haven't
last
seen
season.
It is.
Yeah.
But I like that idea a lot. Big kahunas. I met a Hawaiian couple living in the tunnels below Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy that it's still insane to me that you did that, dude.
Yeah. He
Did
was
they have the Aloha spirit?
they were all about Aloha spirit, and they were hooked on meth. So their little kind of house down in the tunnels, very clean, very neat. They had an organized kitchen, a living room, 2
Electronics
bedrooms, a
taken apart.
bathroom, and the wife would just do meth and clean all day while the husband would venture above to play some Keno and try to win them some money.
That's awesome.
Keno and meth was the reason they were living in the tunnels, though, to begin with.
Keno and meth.
You don't say.
Yeah. So just to get back on track with Austin.
Sure.
What's the dynamic within Texas? Like, do people in Dallas look down on Austin as like a bunch of blue-haired hippies?
Yeah.
And people in Austin look at people in Dallas as just like oil money barons, or I don't know, like
like flashy. That's it's like the city of $30,000 millionaires is what we used to call Dallas.
That's
It's like,
right.
even if you don't have money, you act like you got money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say like blue hair hippie freaks is kind of the sentiment around Texas about Austin.
It's an oasis. I'll put it this way in terms of like the difference between Dallas and Austin. I dated a girl who went to SMU once, and we were talking about brunch. She was like, maybe if you come to visit me in Austin, we'll go to brunch. And she goes, you guys do brunch? Because in Dallas, we do brunch. And I was like, I get it. Okay, cool. That's Dallas in a nutshell.
Yeah,
bro.
okay.
I think Dallas is the worst big city in America.
I think Houston.
So
Houston's bad too.
Austin's a small city. It's a 1 million people metro area right now, but like Texas has maybe 7 or 8 cities in the top 20 population wise between El Paso, Fort Worth, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin. What am I forgetting? But yeah, man, it's kind of a smaller spot. It's like it was a sleepy kind of small town. It was music based, man. All the freaks. If you were a weirdo in the 1960s and 70s, you went to Austin probably because the university was there, and that created a lot of artists, right? And yeah, man, it's definitely not like the rest of Texas. But there was the saying, "Don't Dallas my Austin." That was like the big saying when we were down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's a good place for us to stop on the Austin portion of the show. Now we're going to go outside and get ready to garden for some high history.
All right.
High school.
Today's episode of Drop a Pin is brought to you by our good friends at DraftKings. All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. We got Steph Curry drilling logo threes, Donovan Mitchell taking over, and Cade Cunningham leading the next wave. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sports book for live betting, is live when others aren't. Bet quarters, player props, scoring runs, and more, all while the action unfolds. New customers bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass, plus score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code DROP, D-R-O-P. That's code DROP. Bet $5 and get 3 months of the League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Drop a Pin is also brought to you by Marzetti. Cool down the flame when you dip with Marzetti Ranch on game day. I'm a big ranch on my pizza guy, obviously ranch on my wings, ranch on my veggies.
How do you feel about ranch on a jalapeno?
Definitely.
Dipping a little fresh, full jalapeno.
You know what? Ranch with a jalapeno popper. That's my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fumble your food. Get the good ranch for game day. Even if your team loses a bunch of games this season and your parlays don't pay out, I haven't won a parlay all football season. Fun fact, your mouth can still be a winner on game day when you ranch with Marzetti. Visit marzetti.com to learn more or find Marzetti Ranch at your local grocery store. Refrigerated by the fruits and veggies.
Have you ever made a jalapeno popper rangoon?
I have. I've made jalapeno rangoons, so that's pretty much a jalapeno popper.
I bet that's delicious.
It is.
Especially with some Marzetti, dip it in there.
Yeah. You can go dairy on dairy. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
All right, let's get back into the pod. I'm getting the hang of it, of high podcasting.
Clocking in.
Got to clock in. Yeah.
I like
No,
that.
here's the thing. I really enjoy being high for this pod when we do this segment. But then if it's like I have to go out into the office the rest of the day, I don't like being high just in the rest of the office. But this is like the perfect time to do it.
I'm the polar opposite. These bright lights freak me out.
Are you getting freaked out right now?
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Dave gets very nervous.
Are you a recent weed guy, or have you always been a weed guy?
Pandemic weed guy.
Okay.
So
one of those.
I don't know if that's considered.
no, that's a good
recent.
hobby.
You strike me as a guy that was like maybe anti-weed before.
I absolutely was. I mean, I grew
I
up
never knew
being
this.
taught it was like a narcotic, like heroin, you know?
Yeah.
And
Say
then
no to it.
I'm like, wait,
So
it's actually way healthier than like all your other vices.
Yeah.
it seems like Dare really worked on you.
It did. I was indoctrinated.
Nancy Reagan.
I actually kind of want to talk about that a little bit today.
I was a dare kid.
Nancy Reagan?
No.
The throat goat?
How school came to be in the American Empire.
Oh, hell yeah. That's,
Yeah.
Put
Okay,
that
well,
one on the list,
Yeah.
Sammy.
We might have to save that for its own
Chapter
segment.
1.
Well, it ties into
I don't think we can cover the
World War
Japanese
II.
War and the American school system.
Yeah.
I
And
thought you were
Dare.
going to talk about something to do with weed or the DARE program.
Yeah.
No, I was
The
talking about
entire concept-
indoctrination.
Entire
Yeah.
concept of education.
It looks like we found somebody who wants to abolish the Department of Education.
At least
Not necessarily.
abolish Dare is what it sounds like. But I think that's kind of on you just for falling for Dare, because like all of us had Dare. I don't know if it like fully worked on me.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to weed. Like I don't think I ever existed in a point where I was like, oh, weed is the devil's lettuce. I don't think I ever got too deep in that.
Oh, my original culture, like super deep South Christian Baptist.
Oh,
If you did weed, you were,
yeah.
brother, I hope you like it hot.
Well, dude, that was the same with just seeing a set of tits.
Yeah, my girlfriend, I told you about it. She showed me her tits in high school, and I was in college. I was the fuck up out of there. Don't show.
Yeah, he
don't
just
show me
first
them
time he
things.
saw tits, he was like, he left and broke up with her on the spot.
Yeah,
You're like, you fucking bitch.
if I heard one of my, we could keep
Fuck
all
you
that.
doing?
We're
Yeah, yeah,
keeping
yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
If I heard that somebody was doing that now, like say in the office, walking away from tits, I'd be like, you're gay. You know?
Yeah.
Like looking back, I would have thought I was totally gay,
Call 911.
but I'm not.
I walked away from blowjobs.
How many sexes have you had now?
3,800.
Impressive.
Sex?
I know.
That's how many times you've had sex?
Yeah.
Chaps.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, dude.
Not people. I'm not Wilt Chamberlain.
This man grew up thinking sex was sin.
No, I
so when
know.
he finally started to have it, I
He
think
became
was
a
just
savant.
so amazed. Yeah,
was like,
So now
Sex
he's-
Rain Man?
He's
I
just
was like, holy shit, when you nut, that feels good. It's way better than
this is
when
what
you're
happens when you
sleeping.
get introduced
Definitely
to sex
bad.
too late in life.
Definitely bad.
Yeah. Shout out Wet Dreams. Welcome back to high school. Today we are having class with, of course, the Wonton Don. We also have the Beave. Oh, which is I love this combination. White Sox Dave and our good friend PFT is on the show. And what are we talking about?
Well, I think PFT will be the official teacher. I'm happy to be TA.
I just thought of something. Can I pivot my topic last second?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
That's this is perfect for
Will there
this
be a new
segment.
syllabus?
There'll be a new syllabus.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, why did I do all that fucking homework?
I'd like to talk to you guys about Nazi drugs.
Nazi drugs?
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Is that cool?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
All right. So back in like the 1920s, post World War I, Germany started producing this stuff that was meth. It was methamphetamines, but it was called Pervitin. Mm-hmm. And they started putting in chocolates, and housewives could buy them at home if they were bored, if they wanted to like take something to wake them up in the morning that would keep them busy all day. You take a little Pervitin. You have some of that.
It was a pep pill.
It's a pep pill. Yeah. Have you guys already discussed this
Yep.
on High History?
No.
No.
But
High
I
school?
have
No,
one of my
I'm not-
favorite World War I stories ever is from this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, all
I
right.
just have like a personal love for this topic too. It's just like, it's fascinating.
Yeah, so what happened was they built like an entire meth making industry around Pervitin, and then they were getting a higher and higher tolerance to it, so they were increasing the dosages that you could buy. And when the whole country kind of lost its mind, everybody was just on meth all the time.
They were just
leading
perved
up
out.
to it. And then when Hitler started like going on the offensive, he would give all of his soldiers enormous doses of this Pervitin stuff, and it would keep you up for days. So like when they did the Blitzkrieg across France, all those tank drivers that were driving for like 36 hours with no stop, they were just on crystal out of their brains the entire time.
Heisenberg meth.
Yeah.
I think like Hitler had a meeting with all of his generals, and he was like, the only way this Blitzkrieg works if we can get here in 3 days. And they were like, well, the only way we could do that is if no one slept.
Yeah.
And so then they were like, what sort of like pills do we have where you just don't need sleep? And they were like, we got Pervitin.
We got something for you, and we're going to give you guys the biggest doses ever. And at the time, Hitler was also a junkie. So Hitler had some like stomach issues, some stuff that happened to him in World War I. He started to develop these ailments. Apparently, he shat and farted himself all the time, and just not a good situation in the bowels.
We're not going to shame that.
So
Yeah, I think we can shame that. It's Hitler.
yeah, we can.
No,
shame
but
it.
I've also had diarrhea since Easter of 2007.
Yeah, it's all about
How do you feel about the
context.
Jews?
Great. I love
You
it.
okay?
Yeah.
So this Adolf guy had some bad butthole issues going on. So he was hooked up on a lot of different drugs. He was taking meth. He was taking essentially morphine, and he was taking these pills that were filled with human shit, because that's what they believed would cure your gut, is if you ate somebody else's shit.
A fecal
That had-
transplant.
Yeah, had good
Boom.
shit.
Yeah.
An OG fecal
But
transplant.
I think they're supposed to be inserted rectally.
Yeah, no, not
I've
for
always been
Adolf.
confused by that.
Which is worse, in a pill or up your butt? Like,
well-
I feel like somebody else's poop being in your poop directly
I agree.
is fucked
Dude,
up.
I think my
no.
next group trip is going to be bar stool, and we're all going to get fecal transplants.
Oh, I would go get one of those. Have you watched those TikToks where somebody will have like a fucking super compacted shit all through their guts, and they put the hose up their ass, and it has water, and it'll go in there, and it'll essentially act like a pressure washer to this poop that's straight up.
That's crazy.
Up there, and you could
Yeah.
see on the clear tube, and that's why it goes popular on TikTok. You could see the shit like huge, like outrageous. I'm talking about championship bass type shits that are
wow.
going down.
At that point, you're just getting pounded in the ass, though.
Yeah.
So that's like a little bit of a trade-off.
I got a prescription for getting just absolutely pegged tonight.
So no one.
Aqua pegged.
I mean, it was probably bad to be on Hitler's bad side, but it'd be way worse if he was yelling at you close to your face, right?
Yeah, it
'Cause he,
smelled
Or
really
on his
bad.
good side.
he was swallowing shit pills
Literal
all
poo
day.
breath.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be on his
the
good side.
problem?
That seems bad.
His poo breath was widely known.
Yeah.
Why won't anyone get near me?
So Hitler, in order to get all these doctors or all these prescriptions from his doctors, they would pretty quickly figure out like, hey, this guy's not doing great. I'm not going to give him as much drugs as he wants. So then Hitler found this absolute quack of a doctor. I think he was a veterinarian before. His name was Morel, I think, Morel.
Ironic.
And he was like this fat, tubby little guy. And he would just personally inject Hitler multiple times a day with essentially speedballing. He was doing like meth and heroin all the time. And he would call them his vitamins. So like the time that Hitler screamed for, I think it was like 4 hours to the president of Austria or whatever, the prime minister or whatever he was, just like beat him into submission and got him to like give up some of his land. Hitler was high on meth for the entire time. That's why he was able to talk at this old man for like 6 hours nonstop until the guy said, fine, I'll give you whatever you want.
He annoyed
I
his
think
land out of him.
Yeah.
He pulled that move a lot, too. He would just
Yeah.
corner you and talk your ear off for 6 hours. Eventually, like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, whatever you want.
That's why Fiona Apple said she stopped doing cocaine because she did it with Quentin Tarantino, and he Hitlered her, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He just said,
Nice.
Yeah, he cornered her and talked to her
Yeah, it
for
was
6
so
hours.
intense that she said, "I'm off that drug forever."
whatever that guy's
I
on,
could-
I'm out. Yeah, I can't do it. So
I bet you a lot of people get Hitlered out there.
By
They do.
Especially
yeah,
when
yeah.
doing meth.
100%.
So, like someone is getting Hitlered. If you're, like it's either you or the other person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can't spot the person that was doing the Hitlering,
You're
that means it was
Hitler.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to check into a meeting.
So Hitler is just jacked up on all these drugs all the time, and his doctor, this quack, was shooting him up, and the doctor was known for always being at Hitler's side. So even when he had meetings with his generals, his personal doctor would be in the room ready to give him whatever he needed. And the doctor used to get jealous because Hitler would have all these meetings with all the generals, and they all got to wear cool army uniforms and outfits and hats and stuff. And I just show up wearing my suit. So he made himself his own military uniform that he would wear as Hitler's personal doctor. And he wore it to the first meeting, and all the generals were like, take that fucking thing off, you piece of shit. Like, you're just making up uniforms for yourself. And then he didn't wear it anymore after that. Pretty hilarious alpha male story right there from the other generals. Just being like, dude, lose it. Quit pretending.
Is that the best way to find drugs? Is to find a veterinarian who's willing to write you drugs? Like it's hard to flip a doctor, but how easy is it to flip a veterinarian to give?
I know you're supposed to call a vet if you get shot and don't want to call an actual doctor,
right?
They have to report it to the police,
right?
But I don't know if vets have to. I saw that in one movie.
Okay,
the whole 9 yards.
Makes sense. Yeah, I've never heard that, but I like it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So Hitler is like running this war, and the initial Blitzkrieg high, just jacked up, and all of his soldiers are on the moon from meth.
Dude, the first 3 weeks of that war, Hitler must have been like, holy fucking shit, I did it.
Yeah.
Like, or not the first, like, however, but the month, like, after the Blitzkrieg.
Everything
like,
went like directly according to his crazy plan.
And I think he even was like, there's probably like a 10% chance this works. But
Yeah.
he's like, I'm in way too deep.
Yeah.
So I'm going out guns blazing or this works.
But if it happens, yeah, I'm good. So in the Dunkirk, when they surrounded Dunkirk, all the guys were still jacked up on meth. The tank drivers were like, let's go into the city. And Hitler's best friend, who was also the head of the army.
Goering.
Yeah, Goering.
the SS? Or the
It was his old war buddy.
Okay.
And this guy was addicted to heroin because he had some war injuries. And so he would be like nodding off all the time, just getting really, really high. And one night, him and Hitler kind of got high together. And Goering was like, you have to stop. Please stop the... he didn't want the Air Force to go in, or... Wait, was Goering in the Air Force?
Yeah, he was in the Air
Luftwaffe.
Force.
Yeah, so he was in the Luftwaffe. And he goes, you have to stop the army from invading Dunkirk. Let my Luftwaffe go in, bomb them, and I'll take all the credit for it. And after they got stoned together, Hitler was like, okay, you make some great points. And then he told the army to stop invading Dunkirk, and they paused, and that's what gave the British enough time to get whatever, like 200,000 people and save their entire army, was because they were just absolutely zooted on opium.
That's a good use.
And the Luftwaffe couldn't get it done.
They couldn't.
Yeah, then that's how they evacuated. I think like what was that stuff called? Provactin?
Pervitin?
Pervitin. Yeah.
Pervitin, yeah. That must have been huge for pilots too.
Yeah.
Because you would go on these crazy long, they'd be like, all right, fly for 8 hours, then get into a dogfight in the air, and fly 8 hours home. And you're going to need some Pervitin.
And there's submarine captains too. So they would get them really jacked up on meth before they sent them underwater.
I would not want to be jacked up on meth in a submarine. Are you kidding me?
Wouldn't want to be in a submarine at all, man.
They made these one subs that were, I think...
Me either.
It's the worst assignment.
Fuck that. Like the Navy guys that... A submariner? Like, no, thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're just trapped.
Yeah, you're sitting on
He's a land mariner.
But have you ever been on a submarine?
Yeah.
One that has been underwater?
Yes.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
You might be the only person I know who has.
Well.
Can you feel like, does the sub rock as it's going through the water?
Not really. Like, I didn't go for long. I actually forgot I had gone because it had been so long and my memory was bad at one point. And then I started remembering it. It was very odd. I did it because we were teaching Jack Russell Terriers how to become narcotic dogs and explosive dogs on submarines. So I was...
Totally legitimate expense by the government. So it makes sense.
If we happen to go over a submarine,
there. We
can send in the Jack Russell Terriers.
Doing that ridiculous shit. But Jack Russell Terriers were so fun to like train with. They were awesome because all they wanted to do was work, and all the little nooks and crannies that are in like either aircraft carriers or submarines, they could fly through them like it was like little
Yeah.
ferrets going everywhere. It was sick. But that's the reason why I went on the submarine.
Did you ever hear the hull seasoning, cracking and the seasoning of the hull?
No, I didn't try to go to the Titanic.
Yeah, I think you got to go a little deeper for that.
That's how it gets
It was in Japan.
We're not bringing fucking Jack Russell Terriers down to the Titanic. I can tell you that much.
If you didn't know that cocaine was illegal and just like heard what Chaps was doing for work, he was like, I used to teach dogs how to sniff cocaine on a submarine.
For all those sub smugglers.
Yeah. 6 different types.
I mean, there are a lot of
narcotics.
narco subs. Like those wash up on the beach probably a couple times a year.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're doing a narco sub, you don't need a drug dog to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be doing it for baking soda.
I think you could probably just open up the narco sub and it's either filled with blocks
Yeah.
of cocaine or it's not there.
Get the dog in here.
Does this have duct tape bricks or no?
Now, did USA ever use meth?
Yes.
Yeah.
We gave it to our Air Force too.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready to tell my story now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it fits in here.
Yeah.
The Russians also had not the same exact thing, but they had something very similar that was made from methamphetamines. And they did it in World War One. They had it. And there's this guy, Hayko Noonan, I think that's a Russian name. But this dude, they were getting attacked, and he went across the enemy lines and got separated from his unit. And when that happens, he took everybody's rations. And he knew that he was essentially by himself. There might have been like 2 other people that were with him at first, and then they got killed. But at one point, he was the only one left. So he knew what that one pill of medicine would do. And so he figured that if he take the rest of people's stuff, that he's either going to get through the enemy lines by just being absolutely jacked up like a berserker, or he's going to die. And he ended up, like, this was over the course of 3 days. He didn't sleep at all for 3 days, ran through the woods, and eventually passed out for like 45 minutes or something like that. Popped back up and started running again. He was totally nude because he had like a little bit of frostbite kicking in, but still was focused enough because he was on the amphetamine, so much amphetamines. He eventually got to friendly forces again, and there's pictures of his eyes and how big his pupils are. There is
Are you
no,
sure he's not Finnish, running from the Soviets?
Could be.
I think, because I think I know the story.
Could be.
Halo Noonan
He
sounds
later became the
a
prime
little
minister
Finnish.
of Lithuania.
That would make sense.
They should name the marathon after that
Yeah.
guy.
I also can vouch
Nobody
for.
remembers anybody that was in
Marathon.
the Grecian Wars.
I can't. I'm running a Halo Noonan this week.
I also can vouch for everything that you just said, because the one time I accidentally tried meth, I mean, I could have probably run through the Eastern European woods for 3 days, no problem. Yep. So it's spelled AIMO, Kova Noonan. He was a Finnish soldier and the first documented case of a soldier overdosing on methamphetamine during combat.
Yeah, there's some really gnarly pictures of this dude out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
And
escaped forces.
He didn't die. I don't.
AIMO.
No,
right.
he lived until the 80s, I want to
Yeah,
say.
but
Yeah.
the pictures of his eyes are
dude,
insane.
he is fucking zombie mode.
yeah,
All
like
right.
you talk about 1,000-yard stare. This is like a 1,000,000-yard stare.
And I don't
yeah.
even think that photo is when he's actually
That's,
on it.
yeah,
that
there's
one. Yes, look at that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like
Can
he's
you
about
pull
to
up
pass
his
a
wiki?
test.
Yeah,
Oh, and
but-
that
sure
was
he's got a
that
good
was
one.
years later.
okay,
and his
because I
eyes were
thought
still
he
fucked.
I thought he overdosed. Oh, maybe he overdosed.
He overdosed and came back. That's
Oh,
what
and
I
then
mean. He was
survived.
down for like
Yeah.
14.
So-
Like he was down for a while.
So while, like during the 3 days, he escaped Soviet forces. He was injured by a landmine, stayed in a ditch for a week waiting for help. He subsisted on only pine buds and a single Siberian jay that was caught and he ate raw.
Yeah.
They got good weed over there?
No.
Wikipedia remembers
And
way
then-
more than I do when I'm high.
And then he got admitted to a hospital where his heart rate was measured at 200 beats per
I was
minute.
going to say
Yeah.
like 300 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I had to do one drug in warfare, it would be meth. I'm just hoping it really never comes to that.
Yeah.
But it is, so you don't need to eat, you don't really feel pain, and you
Yeah.
don't have to sleep. So, yeah, if I was forced into like heavy combat.
Hold on, though. Jebs, how many people in the military are directly in contact with electronics, like a walkie on you, radio.
Everyone.
Hold on.
Do any of you guys have like an Xbox or something like that?
Well, no. I mean, you got walkie-talkies, you got radios, right? You got all sorts of like tanks or meth heads like to take electronics apart because they think they can put them back together better. I mean, it's like every meth head. That's what they do. If you're jacked up on meth for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you're like a radio operator,
You start tinkering.
how do you prevent yourself from pulling that fucker apart?
But also it
F-16
could end
strike
up
on
better.
yourself.
Yeah.
Could end up better. You never know.
So when they invaded Russia, they some of their supply lines got cut, and some of those supplies were the Pervitin. And they started to run out of the Pervitin as they're out there trying to invade Russia
man.
as it's getting close to the wintertime. And
What a come down.
the worst come down ever.
What do you mean we don't have any more Pervitin?
All of a
After
sudden, you just
weeks
black
and
out on
weeks.
Pervington, then
Yeah.
you come to, you're right outside of Moscow,
And
it's
every-
freezing cold.
yeah.
You're like, how the fuck did we get here?
And every Russian wants to kill you. Like that's a nightmare to be coming down from.
And
Like,
they have
Men,
unlimited
women, and
humans to
children.
throw at you.
yeah. So yeah, that's a big reason why the forces that were on the Eastern Front, they kind of lost their, what do they call it, the esprit de corps. When
Yeah.
you run out of Pervitin, things are bad.
Yeah, I think that would definitely crack my top 3 of like battles I wouldn't want to be in, like
Yeah.
on the Eastern Front in World War II.
What are your top 3 you would want to be in?
Stalingrad or something?
Yeah.
You want to? Where would you want to be in Stalingrad?
No, that would be the least where I would least want to be.
What are the most?
That's a
Okinawa
very
was really
tough question.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not in war. It's hard to vouch. If you had to be in active combat, which war would you choose?
Are we talking?
That's a tough question.
Are we talking environment wise?
No, we're just talking about if you had to choose one historical battle.
Like the act, not the location, but the battle.
Yeah, let's ask
Yeah.
the guy who's been to war. What war would you be in?
I would be probably in Desert Storm.
Yeah.
Was it when
That's
you
a
were
good
when you were in
answer.
Iraqi Freedom? Was everyone like, man, this is cool, but you should have been here for Desert
So
Storm?
my top 3 would probably be Desert Storm, Grenada, and then the week and a half that we spent in Bosnia.
Yeah.
I think those
Yeah,
would
I
probably
mean,
be the
nice.
best.
did U.S.
I think it
soldiers
was
even
Bosnia.
see like active combat in Desert Storm? Wasn't it kind of just we like showed up like?
Yeah, we kind of showed
Fired
up.
a
There
couple
was
shots
there
and-
was some fighting for sure, but it wasn't as wide scale as I mean, obviously just time period and battles like Fallujah and Ramadi and Marja, places like that were way more extreme than anything happened in Desert Storm.
I think I would take the Revolutionary War. Single shots.
I'm reading about it right now, man. It was rough.
But what if
Yeah.
what if you went full Mel Gibson and you, because that was the issue. They were adhering to rules of war.
Yeah.
But what if you were like the Ghost and you said, no, I'm gonna.
Yeah, being a
it was
Minuteman would
bad.
be dope.
It was
I'm a
still
duck.
bad because I
Like,
mean,
just hiding
'cause
and taking
here's-
people out.
Here's the thing in those wars. So everybody like fires their shot. Say if you all miss, you keep on getting closer, and then it turns into just a bayonet fight. And
Yeah.
you were just you had to bayonet the guy in front of you. It was stabbed or be stabbed to death.
That's the ultimate thing I didn't want somebody to say to me in war was fix bayonets.
Yeah.
Like that means like
Oh,
put
yeah,
it
that
on.
means, like,
it's
it-
about to go.
shit's about to get
fucking
ugly.
Down. We're about to be at the point where we're trying to stab people. I would never want to hear that phrase.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
So with the submarines that Germany used to make at the end of World War II, they made these like coffin-sized submarines for one person. It was like a kayak that had a top to it, and their mission was going to be you have to go on like a 3-day mission and fly over to or put the sub in and take it over to Sweden and back. But we need you to stay awake the whole time. But we also don't want you to freak out because we gave some guys some meth before we put them on these subs. They all freaked out, so we can't do that. We're going to give you a combination of meth and heroin.
Genius.
And we'll inject you with that right before you get into the coffin sub, and then you'll be fine. Not a single person that went out on a coffin sub ever came back. They all had heart attacks like instantly.
Yeah, they call it a Texas two-step.
Yeah.
Fast, slow,
They were
slow.
speedballing on the subs.
And that's why they call them coffin subs.
Well, they were like the size of they were a one-person submarine meant
Yeah.
for one coffin. Yeah, one
And
person.
and they all
That's a
turned into that
fucking
guy's
bad way to
coffin.
go.
yeah,
Right.
That's it.
No,
Yeah,
it's got to be a
it's
torpedo.
it
Holy
looks like a hot
shit.
dog. It looks like the Oscar Mayer logo.
Where
Yeah.
do you take a dump in that?
On yourself.
yeah, you got a bag. It's just,
And these guys are in Swedish waters, you said.
or some waters.
I think in like the North Sea.
Yeah.
God, dude, that would be terrifying.
The temperature in those things got to be fucking.
So if you're
horrible.
listening the audio version, it's about the size of a culvert that would have water going through between roads. Right?
Now-
That's about that size?
Yeah.
I'd say thinner than a culvert.
Did they actually work, or did all the missions fail?
I think they all failed. Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were onto something by combining the heroin. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe they'll be chill.
yeah, it's like we'll give you something to come up, something to come down. It'll work out.
Why
Yeah.
not just give them nothing? Because isn't like one extreme and one extreme right in the middle at nothing anyways?
See, this is why you're not an officer, you know?
Yeah, Dave. So
listen,
you get all the good effects.
Try
of the meth
telling
and
that to
none
a
of the bad
drug addict,
effects,
Dave.
and then you get all the good effects of the heroin and none of the bad effects. The idea was like they'll be a force multiplier,
Yeah.
like speedball,
Right.
and it just killed all of them. Pretty much.
See,
That's-
not a drug guy.
Yeah.
To bring it all full circle.
Yeah, well, these are the drugs that Dare was like trying to tell you to stay away from, where they actually
Yeah.
had a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you can die from the first time,
It's,
I feel like is a good rule of thumb.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is so fascinating. And then, like, after World War II, do you hear about it being used in wars a lot? The only thing that I would hear is that in Vietnam, like, the majority of American troops had, like, either tried heroin or were doing
yeah.
heroin
Yeah.
all the time.
Big time.
Yeah.
Was that just because the heroin trade was taking place in Asia at the time? Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of heroin in Vietnam, and that could be a reason, like, didn't work out great for the Americans. If they were all on meth,
right? They could have
Different
fucking
story.
cut
it's
that
a different
jungle
story.
down,
But
dude.
I don't know if it's a better story.
Gardening on meth? Come on.
When they have they did the strike over in Iran, what was that, like 6 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
I admit I read a lot of YouTube comments about the mission that was flown over there, and there were people they said that they were like in I think the Air Force, and all their comments were like, yeah, these guys are definitely taking this type of pill
Provigil.
to do that mission that goes all the way around the planet.
It's the limitless drug.
I mean,
Provigil.
Yeah.
36
Yeah.
hours nonstop, right?
yeah.
Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, I would hope they're taking something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's
Can't be-
impossible. Really.
Yeah, just having like
I mean,
a couple
those things gotta
lattes
have
or
some
something.
sort of like autopilot where they can sleep, right?
Right. After about 18 hours up on Adderall, I start sending some bad emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would think autopilot, especially
Yeah.
when you're just
We're
over
gonna-
the ocean.
Yeah.
They have it on, but yeah, they have to stay awake for it.
Yeah.
And they have to be able to like actually pilot the plane and like figure out all sorts of other stuff. But yeah,
I bet it has like sensors if you start, your heart rate drops where it knows you're sleeping to like beep.
to let you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can,
What if
plane was that a B2?
yeah.
Did you know any B2 pilots? No.
I didn't know any pilots when I was
Like, would they train for a mission like that where they have to stay up? Is that like tested already?
Yeah, you never do anything for the first time unless it's active combat. So, if, like, you could do,
Right.
theoretically, you could do something wildly different that you didn't train for, but very, very rarely. Like, I can't imagine there's scenarios now that we don't have figured out about how we would do it.
Test the limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you specialize it in different regions that you're in, like while you're in. Like the way that you train if you're on the East Coast of the United States versus how you train if you're in Okinawa are widely different just because the terrain doesn't
Yeah.
match at all. Same thing with like the way that you shoot, like snipers and stuff. Like if you're a sniper, how you shoot is very different if you're in an Arctic area versus a flat desert area, or if you're in the jungle.
Thin
like
air,
how you
humid,
Mercator
yeah.
projection?
yeah, like how you have to, the time signature, the headspace and timing, everything is different.
I've heard that if you are like if you're shooting a long distance target, you have to take into account the spin of the Earth,
Yep.
the Earth's rotation into like where your shot's going.
Depending on how long it is, yeah. But yeah, and the angle where you're shooting down changes. Like you can have the smallest, like from, like let's say you're doing a long shot, you're doing 800 meters, which is like a beginner shot kind of for a sniper. If you're doing 800 meters, you have to put in the wind change. If the wind changes like 2 miles per hour from when you pulled the trigger, that could push the projectile far enough off where it's not going to hit that target.
Crazy.
Now, do you have any more big points on meth in the military? I think that's what we'll call this episode.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I know that I think the U.S. continued to use their derivative of Pervitin for some time. I don't know how often it's done right now, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'd like to open the class up to questions.
Yeah, I'm curious.
You can raise your hand.
There you
Yes,
go.
Pat.
Yes.
Did these people ever like meth out or like
We just went over the dudes dying in a coffin submarine.
You guys are talking about like these guys were
textbook
like
mething out.
super soldiers. You ever been to
Yeah,
a
they
Walmart
were
past
fucking
midnight?
Zombies.
Yeah, it was mostly
was
about
zombie
the.
armies
That's because
for
those
zombie
zombies in
armies.
Walmart don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
If they were pointed in a
There's so much
direction
to do at
and said, we're
Walmart.
going to war.
But you'd rather have a Walmart zombie than you would somebody who's asleep, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. But like, okay, I guess a better question is if an awake rested soldier is at 10,
Yeah.
what value does a methed out soldier on his third week of a meth bender bring? Like, is it 2 guys equals
I
1?
would
Are they
say
5s?
I'd say the first 2 weeks you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. By the third week, yeah, they're probably not
Yeah.
helping much.
Because
But
they're probably really hungry.
yeah, that's I hope they would do it in shifts. Be like 2 weeks on the meth, 2 weeks off.
That's a great idea. This is officer talk. You hear this, dude?
And when you guys are off the meth, we're going to send in another group of people on the meth, and we're going to rotate schedules.
Yeah.
But
Drug were the Vikings
great question though.
What's up?
What drug were the Vikings on? Like the Berserkers?
Apparently, a type of shroom.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind because like I don't think with like I don't know if it was psilocybin, maybe a different type of mushroom. I feel like it would be a little tougher to get into like a warlike mood, but they would just trance out.
The Vikings must have like a great PR person because pillage and plunder means to rape and steal, right?
Yeah.
But like it doesn't feel so like rapey and steely when they say it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, we're getting there with pirates too.
right, yeah. Like
Dude,
great,
it was
great public
it was
relations.
Bad. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The Vikings, you would not want the Vikings to roll up on you.
No.
Yeah, but we look back at the Vikings, you know, like technically they're the mascot of the Minnesota football team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Like pretty fondly we look back at them.
They were, I mean, they eventually, I don't know, got quote unquote civilized, but
Whoa.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but yeah, I mean, I don't sugarcoat the Vikings.
Yeah.
I take them very seriously.
Okay.
I feel like you could say whatever you want
mean-
about people that died and were gone. Like
Right, but like if you were around 1,000 years ago and you were known for raping and credit card fraud, we probably wouldn't celebrate you unless you got a great PR guy in there to spin it. Right?
And the Vikings raped and pillaged all of Europe.
That's what they did.
They even conquered Sicily and Naples.
Did they?
Yeah, it's wild to think, but like the Vikings weren't only up north.
You don't hear so
old
much about
Bluetooth.
like the government behind the Vikings. You just hear about like the Viking leaders and warriors.
The Vikings they were
Right, Viking
the
Parliament.
government. It was
Yeah.
kind of like during your raiding season, all the most powerful and important men go out and raid.
So you're just working out of the office at that point. And it's not like you have a government that you're like sending taxes back to or
Yeah, no, because you
there
are the
going.
government. You bring it all home. And so they used to just only do it for one season and just rape and pillage and bring all the gold or whatever they found home. And then they started kind of enjoying it in some of the places they were raping and pillaging. And they're like, why don't we just set up shop here?
Was
Yeah,
it like,
beach.
was it like Sturgis where they like bring an old lady back to their village? Like would they take some of the ladies from the other villages back?
I mean,
on the back
if
of their
they're
hogs?
raping and pillaging, I
Yeah.
assume they were going to be doing some of that on the voyage home.
Right.
But yeah, it was actually France that just gave them Normandy. That's why it's called Norman. It comes from Norsemen, the Northmen.
Oh, wow.
Because eventually
Fun
they were
fact,
sick of
did not know
being
that.
raped and pillaged. That they were like, we're just going to give you this land and just don't fuck with us. You can fuck with like the rest of Europe. Stop messing with us, and you can have this.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so I think next class we should do the Vikings. But PFT, thanks so much for coming on. This was a
course.
blast. Dave, always a pleasure.
Did the Vikings engage in homosexuality? That's for next time.
Is that wait?
Yes.
Is that what's up on the screen?
Yeah, don't click it. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I would imagine so.
I would imagine so. I would like.
The Vikings were all about getting booty, no matter what
it's like
kind, treasure
a traveling
or
prison.
pleasure.
You know that they
Booty.
definitely.
Harry or Nary, they were
that
taking it.
Vikings TV show stinks, by the way.
Oh, I've heard some people vouch for
Oh,
it.
I do like it.
Vikings, yo?
No, it's one of those like
Vikings, yo.
docudramas that's like
Yeah, Vikings Joel
very
never heard of.
corny.
Okay.